Seth Wickersham is our guest here, but Jeff Deforrest, Mike Lubitz, and it's very interesting. This new book he has out, Better to Be Feared, about the Patriots organization. And it's interesting to me, Seth, how you were able to get this access to the team, because the Patriots organization for the last 20 years under Belichick, especially, very insulated, very secretive. You would think even the KGB couldn't crack the codes of some of the things that they are up to and the way that they're operating. And were it not for the fact that they were trying to bust some John at that Asian spa in Jupiter, who knew anything about Bobby Kraft? And imagine the cops are sitting there on the surveillance car and they're going, "Hey, you'll never believe we just walked in there. Isn't that the guy that owns the Patriots?"
Oh, my God.
Otherwise, we know nothing about this organization. How were you able to gain this kind of access to get on the inside and actually be internally involved with the Patriots organization?
Yes, they're secretive. I mean, the composing coaches around the NFL call Belichick and the Patriots organization the Kremlin. But
the guys all around the table, every one of them had a casino destination as their favorite vacation. And Marty Sachs' wife, the lovely Vicky Sachs, stepped up to give her version of what her favorite vacation is. And she's in the travel business, so she's been everywhere. I mean, she's talking about safaris in Africa. Lubie, you've been to Thailand.
Yes.
And she said when she first met Marty, after about 15 trips together, she finally looked him in the eye and said, "Can we go somewhere that doesn't involve a casino?"
Life story.
I thought, why? And every guy's story involved some kind of casino trip. It was either Vegas or, in my case, a racetrack or the Bahamas. Every single one of them involved a casino. And all of the women were just on the opposite page. Right? They're talking about having wine and cheese outside somewhere in Tuscany. And we're thinking, all of the guys are looking at each other as this conversation is taking place. And what the hell's the point of that?
I love it.
The time. Wake up with Defo, joined by Lubie. Welcome to the Defo Show.
And a beautiful Thursday morning. Good morning, everybody. Great to be with you here on the Eye On channel in our studios in South Florida. And, of course, representing today the great people at Hialeah Park Casino. That's a great sign for us to be superimposed over here. And glad to have you with us for this week's edition of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. I'm Jeff Deforrest. We have here our esteemed colleague, co-creator of the game, and the man that any number of people mistake him for various actors, including lately Sam Elliott. And he has the voice very much when he starts speaking, the Polyman, Paul Masel. Polyman, how are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm okay. I was doing a Polyman.
That's Rodney
Polyman doing the Polyman. There you go.
Polyman doing Polyman. That's a good one. The Polyman Paul Masel, one of the greats of all time. And, of course, you can catch him at the Magic City Casino, where he is the concierge and maitre d' of sorts to the stars when it comes to degenerate gambling. And Dave Gurgles Gurgley is rounding out the crew here today. 25 years together with these guys, and now Thursday mornings here on Eye On Channel. You can find us on eyeonchannel.com and see the video, which I believe is getting to be bordering on spectacular. The Wizard, not John Wooden, but Brad. Our good friend Brad Schiller, man, does a tremendous job. And also, I don't know if we can work this in. This would be a miracle of technology, but we invented well, I guess it was a couple of weeks ago, we came up with Lubie Cam here at Eye On Channel. And there he is. He's there the whole time.
I
just
thought we were watching The Usual Suspects, that movie. I didn't know that. Wow.
He does look a little bit like Kevin Spacey in that movie there. And he was walking with a limp, and he told me to call him Verbal Kent before the show started. All right, well, interesting start to my day. I don't know about you guys, but I looked up my numbers here on the Powerball ticket that I had. Mm-hmm. And I got to about line number 3, and I said, oh, shit, I'm going to work. My car wouldn't start, so I had to rouse the Mustang out of bed. So it was a very interesting morning so far. And, of course, the whereabouts of the Polyman were largely unknown until about a minute to post time. Anyway, how was your Thanksgiving, Polyman? How you doing, my friend? You all right?
Most of my family went up to Orlando. I stayed home, and it was good. It was good. I had with Lily's daughter and the boyfriend, we had our own turkey, so it was good. It was a good day, and football, goes hand in hand.
How'd you make out on that? Didn't we both think that Dallas was going to absolutely cremate the Las Vegas Raiders, who were a team in vast stages of disarray, including the whole Gruden thing, which is an interesting story. As Gruden is making a claim, which I believe has some legitimacy, far more legitimate than this Rittenhouse kid saying, well, I just happened to go there with an AK-47 and start shooting people. But he's saying, why only me?
I
I
think you
mean,
better do one of your disclaimers.
those were the opinions of Jeff Deforrest only and have nothing to do with Ion sponsors. All right, yeah. I mean, we don't want to, get in any kind of political jackpot here, but nonetheless, the Gruden thing might have some legitimacy, doesn't it? I mean, how is it out of 650,000 emails and communications between various people and the Washington football team's organization, which is about to be exposed by RG3? Supposedly, he has this book coming out. He wanted to have them sign him like 3 weeks ago, and then when they said no, he wrote a book, a scathing indictment of the Snyder family. FedEx is going down. I mean, there's going to be a whole new way of delivering packages in the future once this book comes out. But how is it possible, though, that only his emails, which made him out to be, I mean, various forms of things that nobody wants to be known as, and how is it that only his emails were the ones that were leaked to the public?
Well, supposedly what I heard is that his were leaked, but all the rest were just about erectile dysfunctions.
Well, the one email, the one that came back to him, which is, I guess, the centerpiece of the trial, that they're saying, he's sticking to his guns, that he did get fired because he does look like Chucky in the horror movies, and he does.
He does.
He has a valid point there.
He does.
Hialeah Park, of course, back in the show, and wow, it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow night. Hialeah Park is having the Larry Little Hall of Fame banquet. Gurgles, you know what? I'm not sure if our good friend Tony Segreto of Old School with Tony Segreto is going to be on the scene there. And have you been approached about being the MC for this thing?
There's another gentleman named Joel Fernarmi who works with the First Tee that always does their live auctions and everything. I will be there because they're getting a busload of celebrities going from Shula's Hotel, and I'll be there mainly because after the dinner's finished, they take 2 pictures. Sam Jones goes, Dave, can we leave? So I'll be Sam Jones' personal chauffeur, as a matter of fact. But we're looking forward to the event. It's for Larry Little's Foundation. Saturday will be the golf tournament. There are literally, I think, 10 or 12 Hall of Famers, including Lawrence Taylor. He'll be there. Greasy's going to be there. We got some Arena League Hall of Famers and a full field of 150 golfers Saturday at Shula's. So it's a great event. And within the Citation Room, Frank Fiore, they do a terrific job. There's a band called Old School. They'll do all the old Temptations.
Those guys are great.
Yeah, they're really, really fun. Is Leslie Visser going to be there in the Duke?
Leslie Visser's going to be there, and she's leaving very early because they also have one of these Christmas events going on there that supposedly is knocking it out of the park at Hialeah, and they're packed to capacity.
Oh, Santa's Enchanted Forest.
That's it. Yeah, one of those things.
That's in the alternate parking lot area. Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit of a crowd there, especially with the people coming to the banquet. But always great being at Hialeah Park. I mentioned it to the Mustang. I got the invite there from Frank Fiore, and I said, Hialeah Park Friday night. She says, I love Hialeah Park. And a lot of people are saying that. So we're very happy to represent
I was thinking about Leslie Visser. Wouldn't she be the ideal person to play Donna Reed's part in the remake of It's a Wonderful Life?
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very nice. Lately, she's been hobnobbing in the Bahamas, watching the basketball classic down there, the Battle for Atlantis, which did he really set up all of the big teams with just like a guaranteed win with a cupcake in the opening round of that thing?
Seems that way.
Yeah, it does look that way, except for my Syracuse Arts. Now, this is great because, wow, what a huge weekend of college football it's going to be, including, and we're going to get some insight into this ACC championship game, which features the wild, wide-open offense of Wake Forest, and I guess you could say the wild, wide-open offense of Pittsburgh, and also a very good defense in terms of the defensive front, and a good friend of ours. Of course, he was the head coach here at FAU, and I wouldn't be surprised if Lane Kiffin found it in his heart to give him a piece of whatever money he's making today at Ole Miss, because it was all set up by Charlie Partridge here as he brought in all these terrific players to FAU, and was on the threshold of greatness, and then, of course, as happened with us many times in the radio business, they pulled the plug at the wrong time, just before you're about to make a statement. We welcome to the show now the defensive line coach for the Pittsburgh Panthers, the great Charlie Partridge, joins us here on the program. Charlie, how are you, my friend? Congratulations on making it to the ACC championship game.
Thank you so much, Defo. Lubie, good to hear your guys' voices. I've missed talking to you, man. How you guys doing?
Well, we're doing all right.
Great
I
one.
mean, right now we're superimposed over, a Hialeah Park Casino logo, and it couldn't be any nicer. And we have you on the show, and this is going to be for a lot of people maybe one of the most entertaining games that they could possibly anticipate. Pittsburgh and Wake Forest. How are you feeling about it? And what's the approach going in?
Well, I'll tell you, I agree with you. I think this will be an exciting game for fans. Our quarterback, Kenny Pickett, has had an amazing year. He's being talked about as a potential Heisman candidate. He's on some of the final ballots, and we couldn't be prouder of Kenny. And I'm not very smart, Defo. You can attest to that. We've talked enough, but one thing I figured out is if you have a really good quarterback, you have a chance to have a heck of a team. You think about all those years with Dan Marino. This kid has broken a lot of Dan Marino's records.
Wow.
He's done that with a humble approach, and he came back. He was projected last year to be a second or third round pick, invited to the Senior Bowl, and came back to play for us. And obviously he loves this place, wanted to do special things, and also wanted to up his draft status, and he's done both. In terms of Wake Forest, they have a powerful offense. They have a unique system. An older, experienced group that will be a big challenge for our guys on defense. We're looking forward to the chance to go hopefully finish this thing and win an ACC championship.
Talking with one and only defensive line coach, we'll say of the year. I don't know if they actually give that award out, but he should be up there for Broyles Awards and Assistant Coaches of the Year. The one and only former FAU head coach, Charlie Partridge, the man who didn't get me killed, but definitely got me a concussion. But we're still friends, and we love Partridge.
That was an oddball version of Lubie against the world.
That
You were better off with that monster MMA guy that had a pinned to the floor in a blind naked chokehold.
100%.
That was easier to survive.
Well, listen, buddy, you told me not to hold back. So
Did that guy win? Did he win the Outland Trophy, that kid, for that block alone?
Partridge, man. All right, so every year it's funny because we talk about recruiting and talent and this and that, and you guys do well for a school that people don't always think of as a prominent program. But every year, defensive lines either leads the country in sacks or damn near. How are you able to do that when so many teams struggle to bring pressure in this day and age and have to bring all these exotic blitzes? You don't really have to do all that. Your defensive line sort of does it on its own.
Right. It's not an easy one to answer. Combination of a lot of things, so I'm gonna simplify it as best as I can.
Yeah.
I'm a part of a system where we are very aggressive with our guys up front. I work for a head coach that has a lot of trust in me. It allows me to train these guys a certain way that, in some ways is a little unorthodox, but certainly within the framework of what we need them to do. And the thing that my dad taught me, one of many things that my dad taught me growing up, no matter how much you think you don't know anything. And it really is something that I've always believed. And I've continued to go out and learn and reach out to anyone. And I've been blessed to get around some guys like Chuck Smith and some of these guys that really are pioneers in the pass rush world. And we're at the forefront of things that guys do to get to the pass rush or to get to the quarterback. And a lot of things that guys don't do until they tend to get to the NFL. And these kids train really hard, and I'm proud to coach these guys, man. It's been a fun group to develop, and I'm given the opportunity to develop them, which is hard to do in today's day and age in college football.
Hey, Coach, looking beyond the game, and I know you don't, you got to look forward to Wake Forest, but what do you think about the trend now for these coaches in college earning a heck of a lot more than the ones in the NFL?
Yeah.
Does that make you think down the road, boy, maybe my pot of gold over the rainbow will come again?
My answer is going to be not flashy, and maybe that just defines me. Right? In some ways, it makes me sad. I mean, some guys are making some unbelievable paychecks, but at the same time, with money comes problems, right?
Yep.
If you want to build a program, how much time are they going to give you if they're paying you $10 million a year? You better come in and produce right away. So if you are under that kind of pressure to produce immediately, are you going to cut corners? What does cutting corners look like? Is that mistreating kids? Is that, not worried about developing kids? Is it running kids off before they had a chance to grow up? Because at the end of the day, keep hearing me say the word kids.
Yeah.
They're kids.
Yeah.
But I get it, man. I mean, what would you do if someone said, hey, move a few hours away for $100 million?
Well,
When?
That's what Defo did when we moved from the studio out here. Yeah.
Jack Kramer doesn't know he's paying us this kind of money yet. I think he would be likely to reconsider if he ever found out. No, it is a staggering amount of money. I guess the issue that always comes up, Charlie, and you know it also works in reverse because, as we said, you were on the precipice of greatness there at FAU and went through a lot of hard knocks to get there. And next thing you know, Lane Kiffin swoops in and wins like 11 games with your kids. And ends up, he's the number one candidate for every job that opens up. I mean, they had a job as the manager of the sewage company here in Pompano Beach, and Lane Kiffin was the first name on the list. But, you know, with this movement, I mean, you know, a lot of people are being very critical of it, and yet it does seem like it happens every year where you know, coaches are always leaving jobs for better jobs. It just seemed like a couple of really high-profile guys left very high-profile jobs to go elsewhere, and with staggering amounts of money involved, now people are being very critical, saying that this is part of the hypocrisy of the game, that the coaches don't show any loyalty to the kids who they expect that kind of loyalty from themselves.
Yep. Yeah, that's the part that is unfortunate, and we're all battling it now. And you know, it's like you said, you know, you want kids to remain loyal. You know, sometimes they get criticized for going in the transfer portal, but as is often, you know, pointed out, coaches go in the transfer portal all the time. You know, the flip side of it is all the contract things. And I hope for the sake of the players that it doesn't become so much of a business for them that they're not protected. Because right now, at the end of the day, if one of my players misses class or misses tutoring, I can't fire him. I can make him uncomfortable and, you know, those kind of things, and make him, you know, maybe change the depth chart to something he doesn't like. Yeah. But we are not able to fire these kids. I hope that as they start to, you know, look into unionizing and all these things that are happening, it's great. They should. These players, listen, they should get a bigger piece of the pie. I hope we can find a way to do that. You've got the NIL thing. I just hope that all of this movement towards more and more and more doesn't create something that hurts. At the end of the day, hurts the players, right? I'm going to do what I do because I love it. Someday I'm going to Plantation Middle School and they'll pay me $10 a month, right? But I just hope the kids can remain protected. Does that make sense?
I kind of lost you there, Charlie. Unfortunately, Charlie Partridge, hopefully still with us. If you are,
still here.
Oh, there you are. Oh, great. Because I wanted to ask you too. And you know, everybody seems to be on the same page with that, and yet it still keeps happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you know, these guys are moving, and it's a staggering amount of money, as you said. And I would imagine too, you know, like you said with us, you know, you wave $100 million in front of the polymath. Well, after he passes out, he'll be sharing the wealth with all of his buddies there for sure, and you know, that'd be great. But the game itself, did you try and get Tony Dorsett to come back? Does he have any eligibility? Because you can run the ball on these guys, Charlie, and I don't know if that's your game with Pittsburgh. So how do you see that playing out?
Well, you know, obviously our offense starts with Kenny. I mean, he's had an amazing year. He's got a great group of receivers, but we have run the ball effectively at times when we've needed to, you know, so about that. Now, if this is any indicator on the thoughts, we always have a guest captain, a former alum. You may have heard of our guest captain, Dan Marino.
You went big, boy. I went Danny boy.
Pocket aces, nice.
That's great.
So it'll be fun having him talk to the guys, and obviously Danny's great and has always been really supportive of our team and of our program. So, yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, Wake Forest has statistically struggled to stop the run at times, but you got to put your best players in position to make plays, you know, and then certainly take advantage of things that you feel like you can week to week. But our offense goes through Kenny first. I think everyone knows that, and that won't change.
Narduzzi's going to figure out a way to dissect this team, and I know you're going to be a big part of it with your All-Americans stacked up there.
You just like to say Defo.
Yes.
Tell me the truth. You just like to say Defo.
I love Narduzzi.
He loves Narduzzi. We still need to get a combo with him.
Yeah,
he loves Narduzzi.
It's great that you're there, and congratulations, Charlie. Hopefully we'll see you down there at the Cafe Seville on, you know, a recruiting trip or whatever, but or maybe just coming back home. But
I'll be in there next week, so maybe.
Nice. Oh, let's do it.
all right, yeah, we'll share the stuffed veal chop, man. It's big enough for two. It's like Chateaubriand. Good luck in the game.
We love
Wake
you, Patrick,
Forest and
man.
Pittsburgh
You guys.
coming up on Saturday. Charlie Partridge, defensive line coach, kind enough to join us here. They're very busy, these guys.
Yes.
I was watching something. I don't know, Paulie Man, if you caught this, and I didn't even realize it was happening. They have, and I'm a big fan of Hard Knocks. I love that kind of stuff. And even if some of it might be a little bit on the stage side, it's still great insight into what's going on and some of the people that are playing football, and it makes you feel a lot closer to the game. So I didn't know. Did you realize they were doing an in-season Hard Knocks this year? Is that a first?
Just found out last week. I saw a piece on it. I didn't know. I didn't know at all.
No, great stuff. They're following the Indianapolis Colts, who got off to an 0-3 start and had reasonable expectations, I guess, going into the season based off what they did last year, and get off to a horrible start, and now they bounce back. They're actually playing pretty well. I mean, they look like they're going to be a factor, and they got that guy nobody ever heard of. Is that Jim Taylor or Jonathan Taylor?
Jonathan Taylor.
Running a football for him, and he's like the fastest guy in the National Football League. But it was kind of fascinating, and you don't realize how much time these guys actually spend, especially on the coaching staff. I don't know. Does it seem necessary when you were in the Sandlot, Paulie, man? It's not like we studied a lot of game film and, sabermetrics or any of this stuff. You just went out there and played, and it seems like the game was essentially, played at the same, kind of level.
And when we played, though, they didn't even have the crossbar across for the helmet. Invented yet, We had that mesh kind of, remember?
Oh, jeez.
Mesh helmets that go over your thing, look
Like
like
Thorpe.
airplane pilots.
Yeah. The guy was considered a wuss who had the one bar. Who was that? Like John Hadel? Who was the guy that
Like
always
Paul-
Roman
Red
Gabriel.
Grange.
Roman Gabriel was the guy that
Well,
always had the one bar across.
Giants fans will never forgive Paulie for not blocking Bednarik when he got to give him. So, yeah.
Hey, Chuck, he's right here. We don't like him anyway. Good stuff. What do you think about these games? I mean, I couldn't have been any
What
more
about the total of this game, though? They going
70 something. Yeah.
Wow.
Can you believe that was at 72 and a half?
And it seems like it's easily eclipsable, does it
Yes,
not?
yes.
Like you're thinking 72. What a
That's
joke.
nothing.
They'll have that at halftime. Wake Forest has given up almost 700 yards rushing in their last two
Wow,
games.
Wow.
But Pittsburgh doesn't run the ball very well.
Well, because Pickett is like going to be a top 15 pick. He's going to be the first quarterback. So, like, why are you running it when you? And Marino's just going to be standing there.
Marino might even play.
Like,
Maybe
Marino's not
Jenny will
going
get out there too. He followed in Marino's footsteps there at Pittsburgh. But anyway, great success for a guy. I mean, this is the other side of coaching where you work your fanny off to get a program that is really up against it. Doesn't really necessarily have a chance to be in any kind of big time level of competition. UCF did it, I guess. Cincinnati is kind of right in that story, although. How do they get jobbed? I mean, they're going to win by 50 over Houston and still fall out of the college football playoff, are they not? No, really, it's like, Don King, judge that happens to be in Don King's pocket there when the scorecards come out on, a fight. And you saw his guy get slaughtered. He's being carried out in a stretcher. And then they go to Adelaide Bird's scorecard. She's got a 118, 110 for the guy that's in the hospital.
Unbelievable.
Somebody on this committee is in that same situation where, maybe a small attache full of cash might have been involved from the boosters at, Oklahoma State. Possibly. Is it T-Bone Pickens?
T-Bone
Pickens. T-Bone Pickens would be what? A country singer? Was there a country singer? T-Bone Pickens?
He was Mr. Haney's assistant on Green Acres. I remember him.
Got more money than God. And that somehow one of those committee members, do you think they're easily influenced by the almighty dollar, the fabulous moolah, Paulie Man?
No comment.
What's good about you in your old age? You're staying out of all controversies,
Yes, I
right?
am,
You really are. I mean, you used to be one of those guys who was always on the razor's edge there. You didn't know if there was going to be somebody waiting outside the studio to take you out.
I'm a little thrown off now. I'm looking on TV there, and for some reason, my head has now become bigger than Joe Rose's. What happened? I used to have such a... When we used to be on TV together, I noticed that my head was so much smaller than your guys. Now I got this.
One day you'll have to
jumbo.
bring that picture in of a young version of us when we were doing an ill-fated cable TV show many years back. And it is a shocker because it's the most often asked question in any reunion. What the hell happened to you?
That's exactly the words. When I first met Lily, I showed the pictures, and she said, Paulie, what happened to you?
What happened to you? Look same. What's the phone number we're giving out here today for the show? We want people to call in and play the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. 2 games on tap here of the challenge, and we're going to get game number 1 started in short order. Our thanks to Charlie Partridge for joining us. 888-363-4467. 888-363-4467. Give us a call. Lubie's got some gift certificates he's giving away to a local restaurant. So if you're calling from Ethiopia, you're calling from Japan,
We love you.
We got people from old.
it's worth the plane ticket to go ahead.
Yeah.
We got people from Tampa area looking in, from Pennsylvania
Great
looking
wings.
in. So
There's a wing shortage. They always have wings there. So
You want to cash in this $25 gift certificate we're giving away here on the show. Now, I do have something else, and I'm thinking, I don't know, Paulie, man, you're always coming up with ways. You should be on the college football playoff committee talking about the expansion, because you're always thinking of ways to expand the reach of this program. But I do have, and I dug it out, Mustang's been selling a lot of the furniture right underneath me, because we're moving in like 3 months.
Are you really?
Yeah. So anyway, I had a bureau
You've
yesterday.
been the wandering man lately. That usually was my MO.
That's what happens once you get into the rental game. But no, this time we bought a place, and so
good.
we're moving. So we're looking forward
good.
to it. But it's going to take a little while to get moving. But the furniture is disappearing. So I go to reach for a pair of socks, and the bureau is gone. But laying on top of this now plastic little thing of drawers that I have, to hold everything that I own, which isn't much. Let's face it, my wardrobe is not exactly, extensive. It's not like I'm George Hamilton here. And anyway, it is a Popeil's pocket fisherman that I was given by one of our Trivia Challenge listeners, because remember we were going to have the Popeil's pocket fisherman fishing tournament to rival that, of the fishing show that used to follow us on the radio. And they were talking about going out in kayaks and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, what's more adventurous than taking a bunch of Popeil's pocket fishermen out on any boat? And you know what? The thing works. It really does. But it's hardly something that you could have fit in your pocket.
And we've said so many times, I've said over this show at least a dozen times over the quarter of a century we've been on, that when me and you had the Popeil Fisherman Challenge on the A train coming back from Manhattan, and Defo kept one-upping me. I threw it out. I pulled in a Sports Illustrated. Defo pulled out a Playboy. I pulled out the Daily News. Defo pulled out the New York Post.
When you caught that ham sandwich and I got the knish and back out right after.
But it all
from
ended.
Jonas Schimmel's that knish was.
But it all ended when you reeled in a homeless man that said, "Is this J Street Borough Hall? Where am I?" And that was the end of that tournament.
It is a rather sharp hook on that thing.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no way to attach it. That was another flaw in the, this was early Popeil, before he really had mastered, the idea of inventing things that were going to be of great use, which you were the first to discover when that little Korean lady was up in the front there giving him a standing ovation. And started out.
I knew right away something was going on.
You were the one that came up with the whole concept there. That he started out with like a parakeet he was putting in there, and then he worked his way up to
like a boar,
a wild boar. Yeah, that was a polyman theory, and they were still standing out. Yeah, way to go, Ron, man. Came
so
out
true,
perfect.
right? A little chicken, a piece of turkey, and they were sliced.
Yeah.
They sliced, and then he puts a wild boar in, his nose, his snout is pushed up against the front of the thing there, boy.
The worst, though, the most unfathomable of Popeil inventions, what was the hair replacement thing when the spray paint can of Krylon, and he was putting it on his head. Can you imagine, really? I mean, going out of it.
It starts leaking.
Oh, Giuliani did it.
Yes.
He was thinking Popeil.
Right.
All right, dial us up if you want to play. It should be a great couple of games coming up on the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge, and happy to be representing Hialeah Park. Don't forget to get out there. Larry Little Dinner, I would imagine, is a sellout,
Sold
according
out.
to
probably.
Gergel's description there, and that's always a heck of a lot of fun. Is Ted Hendricks, is the Stork involved?
He's not. I talked to him and Linda. They're in Chicago for Thanksgiving, and he's on the mend. He's just laying low. Ted won't be there, but Lawrence Taylor will be there.
Oof.
Sam Jones will be there. Bob Greasy will be there. So quite a lot of Hall of Famers will be there as well.
It's still a haunting image that I have of Bob Greasy hovering over the dais as we were in the lobby of the Shula's Hotel and giving us like a really strange look for about 10 minutes. I'm thinking, none of us owes this guy money, do we? I mean, it's entirely possible, although it didn't seem to me like he was the type of persona that would be inclined to lend people money. I don't mean to imply that, another disclaimer. But
Yeah,
anyways, giving us, would you say it was a weird look, Gurgles? You've seen a lot of strange looks.
Yeah.
Towards you,
man.
though. Towards you, not towards
Straight
us.
at me the entire time.
And one of the highlights, I think, of the upcoming event, I think they're going to, Dave would know better than me, I think they're actually going to play the tape when he chased you with a 7-iron at Jacaranda a couple of years ago. So,
You thought I was making fun of Shula's swing. That's the tough part about comedy of any sort, even the minor level that we do it on here on Ion Channel. But nonetheless, they ask you to go out there and be outrageous.
Yeah, but
and then when you say something, it's like when I roasted my boss at a Christmas party when I was working in Radio Purgatory, and I'm looking out at the audience. They said, "Go ahead, tee off on this guy."
No.
I didn't realize it was from a saboteur who wanted to take the morning drive spot. Oh, no. He said, Jack said, go ahead. You just tee off on him all you want, Defo. And it was a disgrace. 888-363.
Use a term from the movie, Gurgles. He's a funny guy.
Yes.
888-363-4467. Dial us up if you want to play. We'll get game number 1 started. Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Perdomo Cigars. This is great because leave it to Gurgles. I knew this was his game. Be the first guy here on Ion Channel on the Defo Show to take advantage of product placement, my friend.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, that's one way to tame Bob Greasy.
I mean, look at that. That looks great.
If Greasy ever gives you trouble again, you pull out a Perdomo cigar and he melts. He does. So
the bottom line on that story was when it was the finishing line. After staring at me like in an oddball fashion for about 10 minutes, he says, "What the hell are you doing here?"
Yep. To take off on your class reunion, same kind of thing. But Bob Greasy and a lot of other people, Lawrence Taylor, I'll see him on Saturday and Friday as well. They all smoke Perdomo cigars. And why not? They're the best. 305-627-6700, the number to call. 5150 Northwest 167th Street, the place to go. And you'll see the big Perdomo cigar sign out there. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nick was overjoyed to see that we're actually on YouTube, except he said, I prefer looking at the product rather than you three, but we don't blame him there. But we'll have a lot more from Perdomo in the future. Perdomo Horse of the Day, we'll come back to that probably next Thursday because I'll get a little bit of Saturday's performance.
Opening day championship meet at Gulf.
Yeah, that's
Saturday.
coming up, and what a great way to go. Go outside to one of the bars out there, light up a Perdomo cigar. I'll have them Saturday while I'm doing a little Beat the Broadcaster out at Shula's. You can get a Perdomo cigar, as I told you. 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., 5150 Northwest 167th Street. Call them, 305-627-6700. If they're closed for the holidays or a weekend, no problem. Go online, www.perdomocigars.com to find the cigar tobacconist near you that sells them. So today, the future, or holiday gifts, why not make it a Perdomo?
All right, everybody's selling insurance now, insurance plans. And
but it's really confusing.
I'm amazed that you don't have an insurance company endorsement. I should have you do this for
All he does.
HST. I mean, Theismann's got one, George Foreman, Joe Willie. And people think, I want to also issue another disclaimer that they put the scroll of, what
right?
Joe Willie's saying because no one can understand him. But that's because, like, the people that are, attempting to be attracted by this advertisement probably can't hear too well, right?
What'd you say? What?
Yep. It isn't because he's cleaned up the speech pattern from those early days on
Yes.
Monday Night Football when you had no idea what the hell he was saying. But HST Insurance, they understand how confusing this whole issue can be. You struggle with it, Paulie, man. I had to give you some advice just the other day. I told you to call HST. You got on the phone with these guys. They straighten you right out. They can help you navigate your options, whether you're looking for a policy for yourself or your family. Let's face it, you got to take care of the people that are living with you there. They have a plan for you. Their trusted advisors can find you a plan that meets your needs. Call them today at 855-282-8022. That's 855-282-8022. HST Insurance. And we're here on Ion Channel. You can find us ionchannel.com daily 7 a.m. Tomorrow we will have the Degenerate Friday edition with our handicappers. They've been doing great and a lot of big games to handicap. Georgia, do they blow out Alabama?
Yes.
Or does Nick Saban find a way to cover a 6.5 point spread?
In all the years, I never saw him happy as last week's unbelievable.
Yeah, he said he
He
loves
was dancing. Did you see
He
him?
really was.
He pulled out some chubby checker moves.
I think he had resigned himself that his deal with the devil was up.
Yep.
Because he was on the sidelines there, hopelessly down in a ball game, and then miraculously they find a way back into an overtime session and win.
But if you're the Auburn coach, when they go to overtime and Alabama scores and you're down on your luck, but then you come back and score, don't you say, you know what, this is my only chance. I'm going for 2 right now, rather than go for the. I'm screaming at the TV. Go for 2, coach. Don't keep going to this overtime. And he didn't do it.
Balls is not a qualification for being a head
Well,
coach
It should be.
on any level. IOnchannel.com or Google the Defo Show. That's what people are doing. All right. We have some open lines. You can call us. We'll get the game started. Game number 1 of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge in just a moment here. 888-363. 4467 888-363-4467. We have Lubie Cam with Mike Lubitz, Dave Gurgly, the Polyman Paul Massell. I'm Jeff Deforrest, Jack Namer, and Brad Schiller doing a fine job here, engineering everything, getting us on the air, audio and video streaming on Ion Channel and IOnchannel.com. And back in a moment. Now that it's time to play the game.
Hey, it's Mike Mayo, Gambling Gourmet, here for my friends at Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. You know them. It's been there for over 70 years, 2500 Griffin Road there in Dania, Fort Lauderdale. It's an institution. They've got great steaks, seafood, chops, great bar, friendly vibe, good drinks, good food. They also have a butcher shop, so if you don't want to eat in, you could take the best steaks that you want home, grill them yourself. Tropical Acres Steakhouse, they're open every day except Sunday. Go there and tell them Mike Mayo, the Gambling Gourmet, sent you.
The championship meet is right around the corner at Gulfstream Park. The only place for live racing, Gulfstream's action has never been hotter. Whether it's on the track, in the casino, or part of the dining and entertainment offered at the Village of Gulfstream Park. Currently running Thursday through Sunday, Gulfstream's racing package is the best in the country, with all the top horses and people in the game pointing towards another tremendous winter season. Check out the remodeled first floor casino, open 7 days and nights a week, along with the many special events and concerts happening at Gulfstream Park. You can place your wagers from anywhere at firstbet.com. Check the calendar of events at gulfstreampark.com. Destination Sport Miami is here to revolutionize the sports landscape in South Florida. The largest indoor multifaceted sports complex in North America is on the way, with distinguished leaders of its various sports programs and unparalleled access to the finest indoor training fields and facilities. Destination Sport Miami will set South Florida apart as the destination of choice for elite athletic training and development, and for its dedication to youth programs and sports on all levels. A novel concept and a powerful undertaking, Destination Sport Miami will also be an important commodity in the sports business community as well. Destination Sport Miami, its time has come.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill in the Plantation location, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. Their hours have changed a little bit. Monday through Thursday from 3:30 to 10, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 11:30 to 10. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.
Since day one of Old School, we've had Catholic Health Services be part of our family. They are recognized as the quintessential rehab facility in the Southeast for strokes, but it goes well beyond strokes, because Catholic Health Services is in the community of South Florida to help the community stay healthy. And if they're not healthy, get them healthy and get them back on their feet quicker than they could have ever expected. They do it every single day. It's step and repeat, 24/7. Catholic Health Services.
Buy or lease a Taos and take it to the house at Deal Volkswagen. Anna and her team make your next VW purchase or lease so easy, with new inventory rolling in daily and the biggest selection of certified pre-owned vehicles in the business. You can make your deal online at dealvolkswagen.com or visit the beautiful showroom in the classic location, 3601 Bird Road, right in the heart of the Gables. Or give Anna and the team at Deal a call at 305-448-DEEL. Jettas, Passats, Tiguans, Atlas models, and the hottest vehicle in the industry, the new Taos, all at unbeatable prices and all ready to roll off the showroom floor at the #1 Volkswagen dealership around, Deal Volkswagen.
This comes from the great Defo Llama. It's the bets you don't make, the chances you don't take, that can compromise an otherwise incredible life, my friend.
The only way to get your morning started is with Defo, joined by Lubie, right here on the Defo Show.
Game number 1 of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Welcome back to the show, the Defo Show here. And every Thursday, 7 to 9, we conduct the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge, brought to you by the great people at Hialeah Park. Simulcasting galore. And great place to watch all those football games on Saturday while you're punching away on the races and or playing in their fabulous casino. Steve Calabro doing a brilliant job there, and a lot more jackpots being won. You're on the Hialeah thing on
Yes,
Facebook,
and
right?
if I'm not mistaken, don't they have a handicap contest coming up?
Handicapping
in January,
contest is December 12th.
December
We
12th, I
should
beg your
ante
pardon.
up the money, get the Polyman in there, and see if we can't win one of those two seats Polyman.
Wow.
Available to the NHC, which is the big one. Now, we do have to congratulate a buddy of Mike Mayo's, the Gambling Gourmet, who will be with us tomorrow on the program. The Gambling Gourmet joins us about 8:30
Yes, sir.
on the show here on our Degenerate Friday shows. And his buddy entered a satellite tournament for this World Poker Tour event that they had at the Hard Rock, and ended up finishing 7th. The payoff for 7th place, $139,000.
Wow.
Fantastic.
That's like the second giant jackpot. I mean, there's money to be made in this whole poker thing. And, of course, Hialeah Park has a great poker room. And
Gotta get your son out there on tour.
he's been winning. I mean, he's been
know, he's a
slaughtering
good
people
player.
online. And then he did go into a tournament in Las Vegas, a mini version, one of those smaller versions of the World Series of Poker. I guess they have, 25, 30 different tournaments. So he's in one of the smaller buy-in ones. And he did cash. But he said, I think he put up $350 to get into the tournament and cash for $2,300.
Oh,
And I
beautiful.
said,
Wow,
well,
good for him.
I said, so wasn't that great? He says, nah, it was too much work.
But you can tell he's got a little bit of his dad in him. Because when
Too much work.
we were out in Vegas for Jeff's 70th birthday. He was in the pool with us, everything like that. And then we had that great dinner to celebrate his birthday. His son said, Dad, I love you, but there's some suckers I can beat at Omaha down the road.
Omaha High Low. Yeah,
Yeah,
he found
yeah.
a place at the area where the people were so dumb, he said, that literally they may as well have just gone to the ATM machine and given you their cash and not even indulged or engaged in the game whatsoever. But poker room great at Hialeah Park. The casino's always humming. And the handicapping tournament is December 12th.
Right,
It's a
go online.
$500. I know you love this concept because you were one of the pioneers, along with your good friend Ross Gallo, of the real
Yes.
money, the live money tournaments.
I
which are
actually,
great.
trivia question. I actually won. Remember the
Yes.
first ever real
The
money
Breeders' Cup.
tournament?
That was a classic.
Real money tournament in the United
I
States.
couldn't believe how many people were waiting for you to exit the plane with the 30 dimes that you picked up in that tournament. And it was, and this is a true story.
Plus the 9 cash. Oh, remember it was 99.
Yes,
cash.
and
Wow.
the Marlins were getting off, exiting their
That's
plane
correct.
from winning the 2003 World
2003.
Series, and there were less people over there than there were waiting for the Polyman.
Well,
They knew it was flush.
How many people on the Marlins have
Josh
Shylock's?
Beckett just
Yeah.
flew right through, got his bag, and he was on the bus, and that was it. All right, let's get into game number 1 here, the Hialeah Park
You
Trivia
know,
Challenge.
something was going on as the plane was landing. Right?
Yeah.
The landing, you see the tarmac and everything. We saw one of our friends, the world famous Mixter, running alongside the plane.
No, that was a great occasion here. But no, it's a real money event there, and it's coming up on December 12th at Hialeah Park, so a little over a week away. And a great time. Our friend Evan, don't mention my name, won it last year. And
that's right.
I
He's
guess
a
it was a
good
couple of years ago was the
handicapper.
last time they had it. And so he's got a second straight entry into the NHC, which, look, there's like 800,000, $1 million top prize
Right.
there. You were always very
I
prominent.
was
these
always in the
tournaments. Yeah.
money. I was always picking up some kind of
Yeah.
check. Always a brutal nose finish loss that did me in for the big prize. But I was right there. Yeah.
You know what's great about horse players, though? They could be on a free entry into the NHC with a chance to win $1 million, and they'll go to the buffet, and it's like the MGM Grand Buffet, and then they'll start kvetching about it. Can you believe this? Soft shell crabs, who eats those? Right? Try the Chateaubriand. my
Yeah,
friend.
exactly.
All right, let's get into it here. Game number 1. The game usually starts out in a very traditional fashion. So let's begin game number 1 of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge with our good friend, co-founder of the game, the Polyman, and some
Easy baseball. This baseball funny man once said, I kind of knew my baseball career was over in 1965. My baseball card came out and there was no picture on it. Bob Uecker, Bob Barker, Bobby Valentine, or Bob Buell.
He'd been hacked.
Buell.
All right,
Oh, wow.
let's roll the
Phillies and
random phone
Cubs.
scrambler. And it lands on, and this is appropriate, always, great on the show. Lenny the Chronic, one of the
Chronic.
classic trivia challenge players. Lenny, how are you?
Okay, how you doing, guys?
Good.
Doing great, Lenny.
morning.
How are you?
You sound thinner.
sound-
Lenny. You sound
Yeah,
thinner.
you still in those
Yeah,
salads? I
yeah.
haven't seen any pictures lately.
Hey, I can't keep showing the same salad all the time. Plus, it's holiday time, so a little less salad. These
There you
days.
go.
All right, very good. All right, you have 1 point. You're in
Happy
the game,
Hanukkah,
Lenny.
boys.
Happy
Happy
Hanukkah
Hanukkah.
to you, my
All
friend.
right.
We never give Lenny enough credit. Besides being one of the great trivia players of all time, sports trivia players, Lenny is really a good guy.
Good guy.
Yeah, we
No
never
really
doubt
good.
about it. Yeah.
This is a good guy.
It's
He's loyal.
a loner's 50. Will you?
Okay.
Exactly.
Now you're going to completely stump this
Yeah,
guy.
there
False
we go.
question.
Jerk off.
Brutal true false
Put him
question.
away.
We got a soccer true or false. Cena, the German YouTube drumming phenom, who has just under 1 million subscribers, is over 1 million now, excuse me, to her Cena Drum site, is the granddaughter of soccer legend Franz Beckenbauer. True or false?
I'm going to say false.
Yes.
You got it right.
you.
Wow.
Who is Cena? Who are you talking about?
What
The
the hell's a
wrestler?
Cena?
No, no,
Cena,
a
Queen of the
drumming-
Jungle?
He's a drummer.
Oh, he
drumming
is, yeah.
phenom on YouTube. Yeah,
Oh,
got
okay.
like
No relation to
a
Beckenbauer.
million.
That was a bit of a stretch. All right, good job, Lenny. You sniffed that out because it seemed bizarre enough to maybe be
Yeah,
true.
I thought that was
which
real.
is the beauty of your
I-
questions.
I would drum with my fingers in a Davida for you
Yeah.
now, but the corporate.
Yeah, we don't want to
No,
knock
no,
everybody
okay.
off the air. Jack had a heart
Football.
attack back there behind the screen.
Football. The great Hall of Famer Isaac Bruce played his college ball for Memphis, originally signed a letter of intent with what school or with
Ooh. Always difficult. Yeah, always.
Michigan State, Arkansas, Tennessee, or Purdue?
Oh, jeez.
Let's go with Tennessee.
Tennessee, incorrect.
Was Purdue, believe it or not.
Boilermakers.
I don't know why I was
Well, he's
gonna
from
say
here,
that.
too. Isn't he? South Florida guy?
Yeah. That clock sounds slower than the Polyman's
I
heartbeat.
know. I know.
Everything is slower than my heartbeat. That's the problem.
2 going for 7, Lenny, to set the pace in game 1 of the Hialeah Park Trivia
Baseball,
Challenge.
before being swept by the Dodgers in 1963 World Series, the great Mickey Mantle missed 2 months with a broken foot while trying to climb the wall to rob what other famous major leaguer of a home run?
Wow, great question.
Okay.
Al Kaline, Carl Yastrzemski, Armand Killebrew, or Brooks Robinson?
Wow.
What the hell's
Can you
that?
repeat those?
Yeah, please.
Al Kaline, Carl Yastrzemski, Harmon Killebrew, or Brooks Robinson?
There's Mantle back to the wall.
Let's go with Big Harmon.
I think it's the
Killebrew,
battery
no.
man. Alkaline. No?
Brooks Robinson.
Wow.
That was going to be my guess, believe it or not, Paulie, man. You buzzed me out. But nonetheless, Lenny, excellent try, Lenny. 2 points.
Go back at
Unfortunately,
Jerry's
not
truck.
good enough to go
Yeah,
to
you're
the
not-
finals here. Yeah.
You know, the Mick who could
Don't be afraid to have a salad. Lenny. Let's put it that way.
the Mick who could fly, right? You know,
Yeah.
he was just unbelievable. You know, the old saying, what about if he had, good knees
Right.
or something like that. But I remember when he was lame and hobbled, Pedro Ramos, the great relief pitcher, who then went over to the Yankees and helped them win a World Series, challenged him to a foot race. You know, at my age now, I could have beat Mickey Mantle and he couldn't even walk. But I was, years later, though, Pedro Ramos said he apologized for,
2 big New York stars. Their brilliance compromised very early on by problems. Mickey Mantle, of
and Joe
course.
Namath, yeah.
And Joe Willie,
Yeah.
was a running machine
Right.
early on in his college days and could do virtually
No
anything.
one believes that. I was telling
Yeah.
a young man the other day that they couldn't possibly believe
Right.
it. You know,
He literally did. We mentioned this earlier. I mean, he had the Chester from Gunsmoke
right.
kind of gait to him, when he came into the pros. All right, dial us up, 888-363-4467, 888-363-4467. If you'd like to play the game, Lenny the Chronic Bomb's out here, and we're working with Lubie Cam here to get our next contestant online. So let's offer up our next set of questions with the great Dave Gurgles Gurgley.
Golf. This golfing humorist and broadcaster on a certain Playboy golfer's penchant for younger women, addressing a crowd, said, "I'm so sorry Nick Faldo couldn't be here this week. He's attending the birth of his next wife." What's that?
It sounds like the Duke said that.
David Faraday, David Copperfield, David Ortiz, or Irad Ortiz?
All right, let's roll the Ranaphone Scrambler here with Mike Lubitz on Lubie Cam.
You and Lubie Cam.
There you go. And we have Ron. Ron, you're on the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, fellas. Let's go with A.
A's
Good job.
correct.
You've
Nice
been
job,
trained
Ron.
well.
Snipped that one out.
Well done, Ron. Tennis, Ron. Listen closely to this, and I hope you're not near a typewriter if they're still around. Believe it or not, Roger Federer's last name, Federer, can be typed entirely with the left hand. True or false?
That's a random.
Repeat that again?
Yeah. All right. Imagine a keyboard or a typewriter. You learned the old way on how to type. Believe it or not, Roger Federer's last name, Federer, can be typed entirely using just the left hand.
True.
Yeah, that's true. ASDF, JKL semi, and you go up
What
and
about
down
guys
like
with
that.
one arm, man? They would have
Well,
to type Federer with left.
That was on the
Why'd you go there?
fugitive. That
Where'd you
was
come up
the
with
one-arm
that?
man.
That whole question was
You're waiting for Lieutenant Philip Girard to show up, just arbitrarily, as you just bought a horse, and we're on the backstretch of Golden Gate Fields, and he just happens to have gotten involved in thoroughbred racing. All right, you have 2 going for 5 here, Ron.
Right. NBA hoops. In 1974, the late, great Nate Thurman was the first player ever to record a quadruple double. 22 points, 14 rebounds, 13 assists, and 12 blocks while playing for the Chicago Bulls versus was it the Hawks, the 76ers, the Royals, or the Knicks?
Wow, some game.
Let's go to the Royals.
No, it was the Hawks, as a matter of fact, which you can't type with just your left hand. All right.
That would have been a tough one, Paul.
It
man.
was-
I don't
it
know.
was a
Did you
tough
have any idea on that one? That was tougher than your Mickey Mantle making a catch and robbing boom of a home run. You guys are on your game today.
You guys
I-
going after it today.
I can't wait to hear what this one's worth. The
All right, here we go.
5-point question is going to be really steep after that.
Football. This past week, Lamar Jackson led the Ravens to a 16-10 victory over the Browns, despite throwing 4 interceptions, scoring less than 20 points, and passing for less than 120 yards. He was the first quarterback to have that same type of game and win since Steve DeBerg, Carson Palmer, Donovan McNabb, or Michael Vick.
Carson Palmer.
That's right.
Wow.
Well done. In
Nice. Good
2013,
job.
Carson Palmer
Tough
did the
players
same
there.
thing.
All
Well
right, dial
done,
us
Ron.
up if you want to play. 888-363-4467. 888-363-4467. This game number 1 of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge here on Ion Channel. Catch us on ionchannel.com. You get the video, the audio streaming. Our man Doug, he set this thing up and then disappeared. He vanished into thin air.
Yep.
The Ion Channel people, very efficient. Brad Schiller operating things behind the screen here. And, of course, Jack Namer keeping the faith after Thanksgiving. Although he had that look in his eye today of like, when is this going to start to pay off, Deforrest? But no, it's all good. And we couldn't be happier than to be here. That's Dave Gurgles Gurgley, the Polyman Paul Marcel. I'm Jeff Deforrest. Lubie is on his own personal Lubie Cam. Real innovation here on Ion
Lubie
Channel.
Cam is strong, boy.
You guys in the Lubie
Tell you
Cam.
what, comes in great. Now, Magic City Casino, yeah.
First, when I saw the Lubie Cam, I thought he was the guy doing for the hearing impaired.
You decided to show it. You may need some form of interpretation for the general public out there that's not familiar with us. All right, Magic City Casino, you're going to be there. What's
Today.
going on now? Hialeah shut down at Dania Hialeah.
Yeah, what's going on?
And I understand they had a full house there, although it wasn't. You worked there for a while in conjunction with your job there in Magic City. And how many people did the highlight court actually seat at that point?
I don't know. I saw a nice story which featured Benny Bueno.
Yes.
Everybody loves Bueno, whose son is on our roster at Magic City, a tremendous young player. And just like the dad, if you could find 2 nicer people than them, boy, what outstanding.
The death of a sport,
human.
though. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like
Well,
literally
the
had to
Dania
write an
players are-
obituary. And now, going on only in Magic City.
Yeah, the Dania players, our season finished, and Douglas, in a hard battle, won the singles tournament, and his brother and Kubala, his brother is also
Kubala
named
is
Benny.
not a wrestler?
And Kubala won the doubles. They're quite a doubles team, but the Dania players are coming, X amount of them are coming to join our roster.
Wow.
Come,
That's a challenge,
the end
yeah.
of January, so that'll be a good thing. It's a different game at our court, the smaller court, speed of lightning. But up by me, the sports club, the casino's going great. Excuse me, the poker room. Up by me, the sports club deal is $10 per seat, but you get $10 back
Great food.
for food, and there's
Very
always
good.
something. So it's a push, and there's always something going on with the shoot a basketball, throw a football to win. But on Sundays we have the pick three, the Paulie's pick three, 1 o'clock games. You pick 3 games against the spread and win $100. And again, last week we had 11 winners.
Wow.
The other week we had 24 winners.
And it costs nothing to enter.
Costs
right?
nothing
Wow.
to enter. But I tell you, it's
You didn't see a lot of bookies at the boat show this year.
Yeah.
You notice that? There was a shortage of bookmakers.
But is it that easy? I don't know. And just quickly, we have a little man, Angel, that this was 12 weeks now. He's won 6 out of 12 weeks.
Wow.
And he just circles to show you better lucky than good.
Yep.
And he probably would have won a 7th week, but 1 week it was Jets versus Buffalo. He picked them both. We had to disqualify him.
Oh, wow.
But he's a true story.
So he's also a tout. in
6 out
addition
of
to-
12, he's won the football.
That's terrific.
So
Very
great
nice.
time, great contest, and Magic City Casino, the great Scott Savin.
You run into the polyman there. I mean, that in and of itself is enough. But credit the innovator for keeping a sport alive. An entire
Yeah.
sport was in the toilet, my friends. As and they had Joey Kornbluth out there. They had quite a ceremony. And Mike Mayo, the gambling gourmet, was out there. And he said it was really kind of a moving occasion. Back in the heyday when there were pyramids of cocaine on the tabletops at the Yankee Stadium of Hialeah, and you were watching Aziz duke it out there with Joey when he was playing at Miami, and some of the great players.
And just quickly, as you testified
Benny
to so
Bueno.
many times, the improvement of these players, you got to see it to believe it. They are so good. Some of them are just outstanding, and you saw at the beginning. You know,
It would be
know
like
how
if
to
I
tie the
handed you a
testosterone,
violin right now
yeah.
and said, "Hey, start playing some Mozart, concerto in B flat." It would probably sound pretty horrible at first, but these guys have mastered it
Yes.
in a short period of time. I mean, they were picking up an oddball game, which is not an easy game to play,
No,
as
no.
evidenced by our various appearances in media tournaments.
Right. Jedden says that Jedden, who won a Super Bowl ring with the Colts, said the same thing, just what you said. This game is not
It's weird, you throw the ball out there, it lands over there. It's kind of crazy. All right, trying to identify the most affordable health insurance plan, people. If you're struggling with that, let's face it, finding health insurance can be a very complicated proposition. HST Insurance can help you. Whether you're looking for yourself or your family, they have a plan for you. Their trusted advisors can find that plan that meets your needs. And they get into specifics, too. They don't mess around. So this will be ideally designed for you and your family's needs. Call today, HST, at 855-282-8022, 855-282-8022. Continuation of game number 1. Thanks, people, for dialing us up, 888-363-4467. If you want to play right now, we have Ron in the lead here of our first game of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge here on Ion Channel, ionchannel.com. We have Dave Gurgly, the Polyman Paul Massell. I'm Jeff Deforrest, and with his own exclusive viewing angle is... I think Lubie Cam. I mean, they got base cam. They have a lot of cameras that are useless.
I know he
now.
reminds me. He reminds me of Alan Cantor on the David Letterman show. Remember when he was his announcer? Yeah.
Or the guy that was kind of the side man on Pardon the Interruption, who now Tony Reale
Yes,
has
yes.
his own show now, which
Disturbed me no
is
way.
probably the most bogus show that I've ever seen, where the points just start racking up. And like certain people, I mean, is that
they
game
got a
as fixed as
pre-plan.
anything?
Today is
Yeah,
Defo versus Steakhouse. It's really something when they say, Dave, the Pittsburgh Steelers are known now to be a dirty team, and Dave answers, 3 points go up.
It's like your girl Anita Marks being the gambling expert for ESPN.
She did hit 2 out of 3 unders on Thanksgiving Day.
There
She
you
did better than I did.
Under. What do you like in this game? I like the totals. Under.
Lubie and I buried more people than Fred Hunter, the funeral home owner. I think he's out of business now. How do you go out of business when you're in the business of death? I mean,
it's constant.
All right, we're coming back with more game number 1 continuation. There will be a second game. I think Jack is even coming to studios here, Jack Namer, to see if we can give away like a camera or something.
There you go.
Who knows? But we'll settle for a gift certificate and the pride, the distinction of being a winner on the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Can't wait to get down there tomorrow night for the Larry Little Hall of Fame dinner and banquet. That's always a lot of fun. I thought they should have gone to you, Gurgles, as the MC.
No, that's quite all right. They got another guy, Joel, who does all their
Nobody
a lot
better
of
at
their
that stuff, right?
That is fine. That is fine. I'll just be Sam Jim Jones designated driver, as a matter of fact.
You get the crowd involved, though. You always manage to do that. All
Well,
right,
that's fun.
coming back with more here on Ion Channel, ionchannel.com. You can find us, Google the Defo Show. Tell your friends and give us a shout here if you want to play, 888-363-4467. Back in a moment with more. Now that. It is 8 o'clock.
Destination Sport Miami is here to revolutionize the sports landscape in South Florida. The largest indoor multifaceted sports complex in North America is on the way, with distinguished leaders of its various sports programs and unparalleled access to the finest indoor training fields and facilities. Destination Sport Miami will set South Florida apart as the destination of choice for elite athletic training and development, and for its dedication to youth programs and sports on all levels. A phenomenal concept and a powerful undertaking, Destination Sport Miami will also be an important commodity in the sports business community as well. Destination Sport Miami, its time has come.
Hey folks, Tony Segreto here. What if I told you you could go to a great restaurant, feel completely safe because their COVID protocol is unmatched, have an amazing meal, have a great time. When the bill comes, you won't get sticker shock. You're going to say, that's too good to be true. No, it's not, because I'm talking about Texas Roadhouse. Great family atmosphere, great atmosphere for a couple, great atmosphere if you just want to go by yourself and watch a game and have the coldest beer in town. And while you're doing that, have the best bread in town. All at Texas Roadhouse. Everything you get there is fresh every day and made sure it's served at your table, hot and ready to go. And the best part is you don't get sticker shock because the prices are amazing. Texas Roadhouse.
Recently, we realized it's not just hurricane season that can hurt us. Any time of year, things can happen to your home or business. And the insurance company can be your friend, but they also can be your enemy. Horizon Public Adjusters, Justina Testa, are here for you to help this process go so much easier. Before you call the insurance company, call Horizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa at 954-809-8752. Would you go into court without an attorney? So why would you go up against an insurance company without Horizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa? 7 to 10 times more money recovered with a public adjuster than if you went on your own. If there's no recovery, there's no fee. Give them a call at 954-809-8752. Why go up against insurance companies alone when you can have Horizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa on your side?
Play the ponies in style at Champions, the outstanding simulcasting room at beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, the grand old lady of thoroughbred racing has never been more vibrant, and you can wager on the races from the top tracks around the country while enjoying a cocktail at the Brass Rail Bar or any of the fine food served throughout the facility. If poker is your game, you're covered in style. And you can play all your favorite Vegas-style games, including blackjack, craps, and roulette, in Hialeah Park's sizzling hot casino. Get a player's card when you walk through the door for all kinds of generous amenities, including our favorite, free play, when you come out to the ultimate casino and entertainment destination, Hialeah Park.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill in the Plantation location, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. Their hours have changed a little bit. Monday through Thursday from 3:30 to 10, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 11:30 to 10. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.
Hey, it's the Gambling Gourmet, Mike Mayo here for my friends at Shenanigans Sports Pubs. You know them. They're great for wings, burgers, barbecue, and there's 2 locations. The original is right at T.Y. Park, Sheridan Street and Park Road in Hollywood. Second location, the east side, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. My friend Patrick, he knows how to get it done. It's a great family-friendly atmosphere. All the big sporting events, NFL Sundays, go there. Their wings are legendary. The Shack and Grilled wings, I love them. Late night dining, daily drink specials, it's all there. Outdoor dining, go to Shenanigans and tell them Mike Mayo, the Gambling Gourmet, sent you.
The world, I mean, if my point was ever going to be embellished and going to be proven true, the world has gotten me sugar now.
Grab a bagel and a schmear, plus some Defo and Lubie. Welcome back to the Defo Show.
Shout out again. Welcome back to the show, the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge here on Ion Channel, ionchannel.com. Jeff Deforrest. We've got the Polyman Paul Massell, the great Dave Gurgles Gurgley, Mike Lubie Lubitz, Jack Namer, and Brad Schiller are engineering this masterpiece here as we come to you streaming live on video and
They do
audio
quite
as
the
well.
job, I might add, Defo.
And Brad's grandfather was pretty good on the grass. Remember Artie?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Great horse. Yeah.
And a great sire now.
That's right.
Obviously sired some brilliance here, as he's known as a wizard around the studios, and we're happy to be connected literally with Hialeah Park, and of course going down there tomorrow night. Looking forward to seeing all the people there. The Brunettis, usually John Jr., Stephen Brunetti on the scene. A lot of Joe Montana sightings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's interesting.
We were talking about this the other day, and Joe Montana, of course, was here. I don't know, speaking of shilling, but was he just shilling for Art Basel? Do they pay various celebrities to come in and act like they're buying paintings, making it look like it's the thing to do? And then the average schlep who happens to have, well, I guess the average schlep doesn't have $4 million to spend on a sculpture. But, somebody in that category says, well, if, Leo is there, then I've got to go. And we had the idea for years, and I understand that it may be a ripoff of another concept of plunging a palm tree into a toilet bowl.
Yeah, I thought that was such a great idea by you.
Does
Really.
it not reflect everything that is true
That's it.
about
That's
life?
the move.
I mean, the same message, same symbolism was exhibited in Shawshank Redemption. where
I'm waiting to see it and it sell for $700,000 or something. And your idea, I'm waiting to see this.
right, and next thing you know, who's that guy? Bansky. And then I'm the next Bansky. Banksy or whatever his name is. Yeah, Bansky. Bansky was a bookie I knew in Brooklyn. Hey, Bansky, you're going to take this action or what?
Right back.
No, he hasn't won in 3 weeks. What
right
are you
back
talking
with the
about?
Norm Crosby show, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. Welcome.
Anyway, so it could have worked, right? And this whole Art Basel thing. But you think Montana is just chilling there? Because then later on, speaking of the Brunettis, and this is why I thought of it, Stephen Brunetti is with Joe Montana in a picture at Cafe Moderano.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Which was always a place, I don't know if it's this way anymore, but back in the day, the word was seriously that Barbara Streisand had to wait 3 hours in the rain for a table. And she ran in several times to Steve Moderano and said, "Do you know who I am?"
Yeah, you're the lady,
Memories.
you're the lady that made Yentl. That's why I didn't let her in.
I just watched an interview with him a few weeks ago. I think it was on Chaz Palminteri.
That would make sense.
And they brought up about when he chased Liza Minnelli, which we knew from The Dominator,
Yes.
right? Was a big fan of place and tried to bully her way in, I think, and no go. And I think he also got upset one day with Frank Sinatra Jr., I believe. But,
yeah, well, Junior, I mean, kind of was
but the
riding on the
greatest,
coattails of his dad, wasn't he? I mean, was he any
Kinda.
great talent?
a magic touch, though, Stevie Moderano with the food. I mean, wow.
No doubt about it, yeah. I mean,
He's a magician. I mean, it's true what Palminteri said. Actually, what we said years ago, very rare do you say the guy cooks better sauce than my grandmother, but he's tremendous.
Gambling
place.
Gourmet was saying it's a $28 meatball now.
Oh,
Which,
my God.
I
And
had
worth every dollar.
I had an AMF triple dot bowling ball that I only paid 16 for. So, but these are much softer and a lot more pleasant to the palate. All right, we're ready to continue. Game number one. There's going to be a second game, Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge here on Ion Channel, ionchannel.com. Just Google the Defo Show, 888-363-4467 if you want to call in and play the game. And we have so far Ron with 7 points. He's leading the pack, and we're ready for our next set of questions. Here is the Polyman, Paul Massell.
Hockey. He once said, if you've only got one day to live, come see the Toronto Maple Leafs. It'll seem like forever. That's when they were bad.
Or a Red Sox-Yankees game.
Pat Foley, Pat Nixon, Pat Kelly, or Patty Esposito.
All right, rolling the Ranophone Scrambler is Mike Lubie Lubitz. And we have Big Rich. Is this the Big
Good
Rich?
morning.
Big Rich, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing fine. How you doing, Defo?
Voice for broadcasting, does he
Wow,
not have
yeah.
that?
Yes,
Big
yes.
Rich, who very early
Oh.
on was kind of tepid about going out to the track, and now is a sick, hopeless horse racing degenerate.
Our kind of guy.
That's
Kinda
right.
like it.
And it only took like about 3 months for the total
Wait,
transformation.
he was tepid? He's the one that almost missed your wedding because he was standing in the front of the Vegas because you
Yes.
guys had like a thing going down with one
We
of
had
the
the
tracks.
1310 exacta with
That
the dude.
man was tepid?
You know what it's like, though? It's the second time it's happened to me in 3 marriages. And the first one didn't involve any kind of gambling expedition, which is maybe why it didn't work. But then that could be true for the other 2 also. But nonetheless, both times I bailed out on the last race right before it was time to go to the post and then had to be whisked away. But Big Rich was a part of that. All right.
Was it Big Rich that when we
He called out to 13, and he was screaming top of his lungs.
Hey, almost missed your wedding.
Yeah. In a tuxedo, 3 clowns in tuxedos.
He's like 6'4".
Was it Big Rich when we went to see the Marlins play the Yankees, a 1-0 Marlins victory? Was that you and Big Rich stuck in the parking garage for 4.5 hours?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
You
a lot of traffic.
you spelled bad for me. I had to walk 8 miles to a bus. Remember, I was parked so far away, and we walked out of the stadium. There it was. The bus was right there, right on the bus. And you called me 4:30 in the morning. We're still in the garage. We're on the 2nd level.
Whoever designed
That's true, right? That's a true story.
The same architectural firm that designed the Golden Glades interchange, the parking lot. Going around and around and around. No, crazy.
He's a funny guy.
I've never been that snookered in traffic ever in any situation, including many episodes on the Long Island Expressway, right, where they put speed bumps on a highway. All right, here's your true-false question, Big Rich. You're in the game.
And apropos, we got a horse racing true or false.
There you go.
Jockey Kendrick Carmouche, who really holds his own on the New York circuit's wife, Whitney, is the coach of the University of Delaware's equestrian team. True or false?
True.
That's true.
That's true.
Wow, good for you.
Wow, I would have.
My heart beats still pulling, man.
That's ridiculous.
That sounded like such bull.
Wow.
Boy, that sounds like a made-up one, don't it?
Yeah.
So much
Equestrian team.
Let me make
Kendrick
sure.
Carmouche.
Yeah, that's true.
He's like
Wow.
next.
Coach Carmouche. Nice. All right, 2 for 2, Big Rich.
Baseball. Enrique Hernandez became the first second baseman to drive in 5 runs on opening day since
Big
second
baseball fan,
baseman.
Big Rich. This is right up his alley.
Joe Morgan, Robbie Alomar, Bobby Grich, or Robinson Cano.
Alomar?
Alomar, incorrect.
Rich.
Oh, no good.
Joe Morgan.
Joe Morgan.
Joe Morgan with
Oh,
that
Joe
flapping
Morgan.
left elbow.
Cincinnati
Yeah.
Reds.
Remember when Lonzo Ball shot the ball with the Joe Morgan
Yeah.
flapping elbow?
Yeah, the chicken wing.
Justice Winslow, Lubie's
Yeah,
favorite
he
player,
took over.
also. Yeah, much better than Devin Booker. All right, 5-point question, Big Rich. Chance at 7.
Baseball. Since the strike-shortened 1994 season, only 3 players have hit 400 or better during the team's first 60 games.
Question.
Who of the following did
Not.
Kirby Puckett, Larry Walker, Chipper Jones, or Tony Gwynn?
Jesus.
Kirby Puckett.
Whoa,
Whoa.
yes.
Whoa.
Nice.
Not
Tony
easy.
knows
Wow.
baseball.
Rich.
Yeah,
Wow.
nice
Wow,
job,
he
Big Rich.
surprised himself.
All right.
All right, don't go to work yet, Big Rich.
Yeah,
He's up
yeah,
there
that's
selling
silence.
salt in Atlantic City to keep the roads nice and clean. But anyway, don't go to work yet, Big Rich, because right now you're tied for first place with Ron at 7 points apiece. Ron has 7. Big Rich has 7. You can dial us up if you want to play. This is game 1 of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge here on Ion Channel at 888-363-4467, 888-363-4467 with a dead heat working for first place here with Ron and Big Rich. Here's Dave Gurgles-Gurgley, our next set of questions.
Boxing, this legendary sports writer on a Joe Bugner loss said in his column, sleep came as it must to all British heavyweights midway in the 5th round. Red Smith, Red Skelton, Red Grange, or Red Schoendienst?
That was so true, right? About a minute 30 in here, and he's on spaghetti legs. Here's the random phone scrambler to select our next player, as witnessed on Lubie Cam. Oh, wow. I mean, this is like Celebrity City here. Marty, the party,
Yes.
Sax.
Holy
There
schmoly.
you go.
Wow.
doing, guys?
Welcome to the show
Morning.
here. Marty the Party, of course, Fine Line Printing. When we get the brochures about the show and the media package, we'll be
Thanks, Steve.
soliciting your services.
Last time I saw him, he was in a swimming pool, halfway sitting playing blackjack in the middle of the pool, throwing $25 chips around.
Yes.
Yes.
That is true.
That was great. And did he live
You know
up to
who
the
was
name,
catching
though?
him, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Did he live up to the name, Marty the Party?
Right.
Yes.
No doubt about it. All right, you have 1 point, Marty. You're in the game.
All right, golf, Marty. True or false? During the filming of Happy Gilmore, Bob Barker, then The Price is Right host, between scenes, actually made a hole-in-one on the course they were filming at on the par 3 11th, 127-yard hole. True or false?
I'd say true.
No, that's not true.
That's not true. Wow, sounded good, Gurgles.
You had me going Gurgles with that
Yeah.
one.
I think he bogeyed the hole, to be honest with you.
Marty, a 3-point question to give you a total of 4.
All right, baseball, Marty. What pitcher is the all-time career leader in balks with 90?
Oh, great question.
Is that
Tough, yeah.
Warren Spahn, Steve Carlton, Bob Welch, or Vida Blue?
Welch.
I got to go Welch.
Nope, from Miami, North Miami, Steve Carlton with 90.
Wow.
Welch was second.
You figured
though.
Bach's a right-hander, right?
Yeah, well,
would be the guy
most
that
of the
kills you.
lefties. Yeah, most of the lefties. Yep.
All right. You have a shot at 6 points here,
Yep.
Marty.
Here we go. NBA basketball. When Wilt Chamberlain, believe it or not, was the first NBA player on February 2nd, 1968, to have a double, triple, double, which means 20 or more of each. 25 points, 22 rebounds, 21 assists. And it came versus which NBA opponent? Was it the Knicks, the Suns, the Bulls, or the Pistons?
I'd say the Pistons.
Yes.
Pistons.
Probably
Wow.
against my Bellamy, Walt Bellamy. Yeah.
All right. You're
Well
off the
done,
hook,
Marty.
though, Marty the Party, as if you have things to get done, go ahead and do them, because 6 leaves you 1 point short here. 1 point short of making it to the
Very
finals
good
of game
effort,
number
though,
1.
by
Yes, it
Marty
was.
Party.
And part of, I mean, and really kind of the guy who spearheaded the greatest neighborhood I ever lived in, which was the Barefoot Beach Villas
Yes.
in Pompano Beach. Just happened to be a bunch of people that all had sort of similar interests, and at the same time, very diverse group, but got together, and it was really a great time. Great 5 years and that we spent there. And then all of a sudden, the rat that we were renting from sold the place and we were out for an enormous amount of money. And that's the way it went. But, that's why I'm out of, glad I'm out of that game. All right, dial us up if you want to play. 888-363-4467. Good game working here. Ron with 7. Big Rich is in the loop here with 7 points. 888-363-4467. This is game number 1. Game number 1 of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. What are you suggesting here, Lubie? We go to the finals already? What is that? I can't see that from a mile away. He's put up a sign. Why don't you just come on and say it? That's why we have Lubie Cam.
Aren't we like 10 minutes past the finals? You don't want to do finals yet?
No, we got time
We're
for
not
a
doing
couple
finals.
more.
Oh,
If
okay.
we do. I mean, go ahead and line them up here. 888-363-4467.
Thank goodness this is live.
Well, you don't know. I mean, who could read what Lubie possibly? I mean, that is the worst handwriting I've ever seen on a sign that was supposed to be read from
But if
miles
you look
away.
at the sign behind us, it looks like Paulie has just been named the manager of the Angels. He's got the big A over his head. Beautiful.
Let me tell you about Destination Sport Miami and what these guys are doing. It's absolutely fantastic. This is going to be the largest indoor, multifaceted sports facility anywhere in the world. And you see a lot of top-notch people training all over the place. I got involved in a little kind of friendly doubles game yesterday out there at the Pompano Municipal Park, an outstanding facility. And one of the gentlemen, and it was a real good player, he was from Michigan. And I said, it has to be, when you have to shut it down in Michigan. He said, oh, no, we have indoor tennis. And I thought, well, that's great. They're probably going to have a couple of courts there, very expensive and hard to get on. This is going to be wild what happens here with Destination Sport Miami, where they're going to have like 2 full-size NBA courts, 2 full-size NFL regulation football fields for teams and athletes to practice on and train on, hockey rinks. They have virtually everything, soccer fields, all indoors. So a huge undertaking by these guys, and it's already underway. If you want information about Destination Sport Miami and what's going to be just an outrageous facility in addition to the South Florida sports scene, DestinationSportMiami.com is where you go, Destination Sport Miami. And you'll see that this is really a very ambitious endeavor. Great people involved, too. Brian Trottier is a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
Randy Moss, just a delight, right? Wouldn't you figure that this guy was some kind of oddball, goofball?
Right.
And
yeah.
in the early days, he had that cop as a hood ornament on his car at the parade, and they overlooked
And
it.
what a player he was, though.
Yeah,
Wow.
he was catching 400 passes a year, so that was great. And, all kinds of good people like that. Levon Hernandez, one of your favorites?
Yes.
I love you, Miami.
Yeah.
We got him to do one. He was a little hoarse because he was screaming. He was watching like one of the World Series games around the time that we had him on the show. Levon Hernandez, but a real good guy. And they're going to have youth programs and all kinds of stuff with these people. G Money, one of your favorites. You discovered him during the NCAA tournament one year. I think much like with Dwayne Wade,
Yes.
the king of all futures, the Polyman says, this guy's going to be something. We kind of knew that a little bit more about Glenn Rice, but he's part of the staff there at Destination Sport Miami. And check them out, as I said, on their website and see what they're all about at destinationsportmiami.com. All right, we have Dave Gurgles Gurgley, the Polyman Paul Massell. I'm Jeff Deforrest, Mike Lubie Lubitz. You can dial us up if you want to play the game. 888-363-4467. 888-363-4467. Big Rich and Ron in a dead heat here in game number 1 with 7 points apiece. And we have the Polyman Paul Massell with our next set of questions.
Boxing. This boxer, when asked who Shakespeare was, said, is he one of them foreign heavyweights? I'll murder the bum. 2-ton Tony Galento, Tony Rome, Tony Romo, Tony Kubek.
All right, let's roll the random phone scrambler to select our next player.
Southern Brian there, defense. Southern
Hey,
Brian.
all right. Southern Brian. You're on the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Good morning, Southern Brian.
How are you, sir?
Doing all right, man. Southern Brian, a huge Georgia Bulldogs fan.
All right. Good for them.
And also a degenerate gambling sicko like the rest of us. So, do you do it out of loyalty? Just go ahead and lay the 6 in a hook, Southern B?
Yes.
Yeah. They're going to slaughter this bum, Saban, are they not? What logic would dictate otherwise? Yeah.
I hope so.
All right,
We
very
all
good.
hope so.
Yeah, we all hope Saban goes down in
Kidding me?
disgrace in this ball
It's about
game.
that
Gets
time.
shut out, loses by 47. All right, you have 1 point, Southern B. You're in the game, and here's your true-false question.
Football, true or false? Former NFL and New York Jet offensive lineman Sherman Plunkett's grandson, Jesse, won his first professional eating contest this past September as he won a jalapeno papa eating contest in Albuquerque, New Mexico. True or false?
True.
I think I made that one up.
Wow, I would think so.
I'm not sure because it's
Sherman
marked true and
Plunkett.
false, but I think I made that one up.
Can't be
Plunkett
true.
was the
Yeah,
first
no.
300-pound guy. When he was at
Yeah.
Jets. Yeah. I remember.
It sounded believable, though, with Sherman Plunkett, who I was a big
Hey,
fan of, right? The original 300-pounder
Yep.
in the NFL.
Didn't the Jets have a 7-footer too, Richard Sly or something on the line?
They may have, yeah, but Plunkett was huge, man.
Good
In
question.
circumference, they measured his waistline in. All right, one going for 4 here, Southern B.
Horse racing. After Ron Turcott did it with River Ridge and Secretariat in 72 and 73, only 3 jockeys have won back-to-back Kentucky Derbies. Who of the following did
Not.
Gary Stevens, Eddie Delahousse, Victor Espinosa, or Calvin Burrell?
I'm going to use one of my lifelines and call Jeff Deforrest.
What were the
These are not
choices?
more
Can you read them
helpful.
again, Paulie, man? What was the question?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good host for you there.
Defoe's really paying attention.
What do you got for us? Give them the choices again here.
Gary Stevens, Eddie Delahousse, Victor Espinosa, or Calvin Burrell?
What do you say, Southern B?
Pick a letter.
Gary Burrell.
Burrell.
Gary Burrell
Gary Burrell.
or Calvin.
Or
Calvin
Calvin Stevens.
O'Reilly.
Calvin Borrell.
Gary Stevens.
No, it was
right?
Gary Stevens.
All right, sorry, you missed out on that one, Southern Brian. All right, going for 6 points here. This will put you in a dead heat with Marty the Party for a consolation.
Football. The great Mark Clayton ended his career with exactly 8,974 yards, the same exact amount as what other famous receiver?
Wow.
Great question.
Fred Biletnikoff, Cliff Branch, Harold Carmichael, or Sterling Sharp?
Good choices.
Sterling Sharp.
Sharp.
It's Cliff
Incorrect.
Branch, isn't it?
Oh, it's Fred Biletnikoff.
Fred Biletnikoff.
Biletnikoff, man, he
FSU
was
guy?
great. All right, Southern B, thanks for playing the game. Really appreciate
I
you
watched
calling in here.
I watched the ball game. Was Biletnikoff FSU?
Yes.
Yeah.
When they
Very
weren't
nice.
FSU wasn't FSU.
We
yet.
were not. Yeah, it was
And
before Bauer.
I watched him in a down year when Oklahoma dominated.
Is he there
and-
with Burt Reynolds on the same team or something?
It was around that time, man.
Yeah.
and Oklahoma was a little down that year from always being ranked number 1 every year.
Right.
And I watched this bowl game, and I swear they had 5 people covering Fred Biletnikoff. And even then in college, the ball would hit him in the side of the head. would
Yes.
stick to
Yeah,
him,
yeah, we just
hit him in the
stick on
back
his
of
ear.
his
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
Amazing.
Was he
player,
using the
wow.
stick-up before Lester Haynes?
Yeah.
Fred Biletnikoff? Yeah, I think he
Amazing
had
player.
he had Flex Seal on his hands. It was great. 888-363-4467, 888-363-4467 if you'd like to play the game. Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge, great things going on at Hialeah Park. You know what I'm really excited about? Well, two things. Make it three. There's always a trifecta going at Hialeah Park. Frank Fiore wouldn't have it any other way with the special events, because you not only have the Larry Little Hall of Fame banquet coming up, and then the golf tournament at Shoeless,
right,
which is all part of the whole Hialeah Park Larry Little Foundation fundraising efforts, which they do a great job on. And then you've got the handicapping tournament, which, Paulie, man, do we put you in? Do you
December
have that
12th.
day free? Can you clear your social calendar for the 12th?
We'll have to see.
Yeah, it's a $500 entry fee. There's still opening spots. Nobody better at this. This was your game. If you were going to go back and late in life find your calling like we have here on Ion Channel.
Youth is tough, though. The youth is tough now. They got, they hit a computer. They got so much information. It's unbelievable.
No substitute for instinct, my friend.
Wow, very good, Defo.
No substitute.
Very good.
That should be your motto going in.
Oh, that's very good.
In fact, we'll get Marty the Party to print up some shirts. No substitute for instinct. They'll probably sell like my fully vaccinated. Which we're going to start giving away on a show for like the next 7 years, based on the business transaction that turned out to be.
When you go to these things, you always need a little luck also. So we'll see what happens.
All right. But anyway, that's coming up December 12th. And then completing the trifecta is,
Boxing?
El Boxeo coming up. I'm glad you reminded me there. I was kind of pantskying on that. But no, the boxing is going to be in January, and it's going to be dynamite. You've seen a lot of these Cuban guys come over, and they start fighting as pros, and they show a tremendous promise.
Right,
and there've been a few shows at Magic City, yeah.
Some of them, their records were 161-1 as an amateur in Cuba. Really, they're really talented. These guys are really,
we've
really.
seen so many great guys.
Yeah, they're really good, really, really talented. You get a chance to see,
Francis Bartholomew was a guy that got his career going here in South Florida. Arislan De Lara, of course, fought, and both these guys have fought at Hialeah Park. They always do a great job. Leon Margulies and Louis DeCubis, tremendous promoters, man.
Good place to
They don't mess around, man. There's always a chance for the upset. There's always a chance for the big upset, as evidenced on several of the Hialeah Park cards. So it's not like you're going in knowing who's going to win every fight, except we didn't give much of a chance to the Fighting Rabbi. Yuri Foreman against Lara was a killer. I mean, that was unfair. And when he came in and knocked his yarmulke off with the first jab.
What about Raul Martinez against a 120-pound butcher from Winn-Dixie?
Right. But that matchup against Hank, when Hank missed with the haymaker right there in the turf club.
He could run. He could run.
And who knew Hank knew karate? Wow.
Goldberg, the great handicapper. Right? All that happened. It's all part of the illustrious history of Hialeah Park. But the boxing is going to be great. That's in January. HialeahPark.com is where you find out more information about that.
In all fairness, I just want to say quickly, with Martinez, when he threw that bolo punch, I wouldn't like to be on the receiving end.
No. I mean, he hammered his way to a victory in the election as, he was mayor for 70 years.
Well, he'd had more people attending that fight if the dead people had voted for him would have been there. But they didn't show up. So.
Then finally, a few indiscretions started showing up on social media. All right, that'll do us all in the end. All right, we're coming back with the finals of game number 1 and game number 2, so you can jump on board here. 888-363-4467, 888-363-4467. Mike Lubie Lubitz on the Lubie Cam. Dave Gurgles Gurgley to Polyman Paul Massell. I'm Jeff Deforrest, Jack Namer, and of course, the great Brad Schiller from Ion Channel making things happen here. We'll have the Degenerate Friday show tomorrow, and that involves Gulfstream Park and Deal Volkswagen. Jersey Kyle is going to be with me, the Gambling Gourmet Mike Mayo, and our handicappers who have been red hot. Although it seems like it has to be more the year of the chalk player, Polyman, no?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are well above 500, including Francesco, whose bets I've been booking is up like 20 units on me so far. 20 units, my friend. That's a lot of units. Is it a chalk season?
It's just quickly. I believe on a show that's in a show that comes on Saturdays that was in our previous spot where we had.
Yeah.
And these professional handicappers, we know the real deal. Mark Lawrence and them are just outstanding. There's so many out there. But the kind of show ones that are so full of it, I was just seeing an interview that a guy told me once that they actually do cut the country in half. West of the Mississippi gets the Giants.
Cleveland can't lose today.
East gets.
Runaway.
I was watching a bookmaker being interviewed. A guy told me this many years ago. I didn't believe it. He said, "No, it's true." And the bookmaker would the guy that would do it would say, "What side do you want? You want?" He was from New York. You want the Giants on the east side or the Dolphins? On the east side. But on that one show, it's so funny. The guy was saying the 1 week I listened, I'm betting $250,000 on this game. So I said, did I hear right? So he repeats, I'm betting $250,000 on this game. To which I replied, "You think that's true, Defo? Is that correct? What I'm hearing?
250.
Come on.
You know who does do that though? Is
Wait,
our man Sheldon G.
Sheldon.
Yeah,
Oh my
Sheldon.
God, he had
God bless him.
$100,000 on a game the other day. It was like Minnesota, and they were in a dogfight with Green Bay.
Yep.
And he had Minnesota, and I think he might have been getting a point or something.
Minnesota
but-
won it, right?
Yeah, they ended up winning it, but they were way out front. I mean, you're coasting, you're hoisting champagne, and then all of a sudden here comes Green Bay marching back, and an impossible mathematical permutation fashion. They managed to tie the score and send it into overtime. Where
Right.
now, what's the worst thing could happen to a gambler?
Right.
In most spots is OT. All right, we're coming back. Speaking of overtime, we'll have the finals of game number 1. It's going to be Ron versus Big Rich. And then we'll have a second game, and you can line up on board at 888-363-4467, Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Here on Ion Channel, the Defo Show is where you find us, 7 to 9, every Monday through Thursday, and we go till 9:30 on Fridays, and we'll be back with more in a moment. Now that. Big trifecta coming up in Hialeah Park, El Boxeo. It's 8:30.
Since day one of Old School, we've had Catholic Health Services be part of our family. They are recognized as the quintessential rehab facility in the Southeast for strokes, but it goes well beyond strokes because Catholic Health Services is in the community of South Florida to help the community stay healthy. And if they're not healthy, get them healthy and get them back on their feet quicker than they could have ever expected. They do it every single day. It's step and repeat 24/7. Catholic Health Services.
Destination Sport Miami is here to revolutionize the sports landscape in South Florida. The largest indoor multifaceted sports complex in North America is on the way, with distinguished leaders of its various sports programs and unparalleled access to the finest indoor training fields and facilities. Destination Sport Miami will set South Florida apart as the destination of choice for elite athletic training and development, and for its dedication to youth programs and sports on all levels. A phenomenal concept and a powerful undertaking, Destination Sport Miami will also be an important commodity in the sports business community as well. Destination Sport Miami, its time has come.
Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When I like to eat well, I love going to Cafe Seville in Fort Lauderdale. It's gambling gourmet approved. They're at 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. They're a Fort Lauderdale perennial. They've been there since the 80s. Joey Esposito and his better half, Sally, they've been running the joint for the better part of 2 decades. It's cozy, it's comfy, and they've got the best in Spanish and continental cuisine. They've got paella, they've got shrimp with garlic sauce. They've got this stuffed veal chop that's fantastic. It's open every day except Sunday for dinners at 5 o'clock. Go to Cafe Seville on East Oakland Park Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale and tell them the Gambling Gourmet, Mike Mayo, sent you.
The championship meet is right around the corner at Gulfstream Park. The only place for live racing, Gulfstream's action has never been hotter. Whether it's on the track, in the casino, or part of the dining and entertainment offered at the village of Gulfstream Park. Currently running Thursday through Sunday, Gulfstream's racing package is the best in the country, with all the top horses and people in the game pointing towards another tremendous winter season. Check out the remodeled first floor casino, open 7 days and nights a week, along with the many special events and concerts happening at Gulfstream Park. You can place your wagers from anywhere at firstbet.com. Check the calendar of events at gulfstreampark.com. Buy or lease a Taos and take it to the house at Deal Volkswagen. Anna and her team make your next VW purchase or lease so easy with new inventory rolling in daily and the biggest selection of certified pre-owned vehicles in the business. You can make your deal online at dealvolkswagen.com or visit the beautiful showroom in the classic location, 3601 Bird Road, right in the heart of the Gables. Or give Anna and the team at Deal a call at 305-448-DEEL. Jettas, Passats, Tiguans, Atlas models, and the hottest vehicle in the industry, the new Taos, all at unbeatable prices and all ready to roll off the showroom floor at the #1 Volkswagen dealership around, Deal Volkswagen.
Are we all in stable but critical condition? Is that the way all life is, Lubie? In a
like
general, more figurative sense? Would you say you're in stable but critical condition? I believe you are right now.
Probably.
On the threshold of getting married in the early portion of 2021. Don't you think it's a little soon, kid? You barely notice woman. What are you
We've
doing?
been together 4 years.
Well, I guess you know enough.
How much longer do you want her to put up with me?
Is it you that's pushing for this?
It's equal. We're both very happy and in love. It's very gross.
Oh, my God. All right. It's a foreign concept. You have to understand where I'm coming from. 0 for 2 with a walk and Right now I think I got a 3-2 count in the marriage number 3, but, and only because of the benefit of a really poor call on a ball that was clearly right down the middle of the plate. One of those Angel Hernandez calls. Get out of here.
Enjoy your trip to work with lots of laughs thanks to Defo and Lubie. Now on the Defo Show.
I guess you expected too much from me.
All right, welcome back to the show, the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Jeff Deforrest. We have the Polyman Paul Massell, one of the all-time greats, Dennis Farina lookalike, and was cast a couple of times as a stand-in for Farina in various movies. Didn't you even do some of the stunts in some of those scenes where he was in
and Get
shootouts
Shorty.
in the streets?
And Get Shorty, he's the one that Travolta punched in the neck with the door.
The Polyman Paul Massell, Dave Gurgles Gurgley, Lubie's on Lubie Cam, so he's very easy to identify here on the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. We're about to indulge in the finals of game number 1, and then shortly thereafter, we'll have a second game of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge with more great prizes to be won here on Ion Channel. It's ionchannel.com. That's where you find the audio and video streaming. And, of course, you also can find us just by Googling the Defo Show, which a lot of people are doing, and we're glad you guys caught us here on what is now a Thursday edition of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Quick reminder, though, this open enrollment thing for insurance.
Confusing.
It's done on November 1st.
Well, the whole thing can be confusing.
Well, Polyman's paying out of pocket for all of this stuff that he easily could have covered. I mean, all he needed was to make one phone call.
And that's with insurance, too.
That's with insurance and Medicare. He's got everything. I mean, Joe Biden himself is willing to put up a few bucks. This latest trip to the dermatologist, but never mind. I mean, you needed to get straightened out, and the open enrollment period, it can be confusing. It started November 1st. The laws can be very, very difficult to understand and even scary. We don't even know if Roe versus Wade is in place anymore, right? So don't do it alone. At HST Insurance, you can speak with a licensed agent, and that is free of charge with no obligation. Call today and make an informed decision. Not calling could cost you a lot of money, as it has in your case. Call today, 855-282-8022, 855-282-8022. You're not big on dealing with bureaucracy, Polyman. Once you get into any kind of bureaucratic channels, you usually are like, just threw in the towel.
Yeah, right.
And that was it. HST can help you out there. All right, set for the finals here of game number 1. There will be a second game. You can dial us up on that in short order at 888-363-4467. We had Ron and Big Rich. This is kind of like the Rumble in the Jungle, is it not? Very much so. I mean, this is some big guns going at each other. Ron and Big Rich each had 7 points. Here's the way it's going to work. Polyman's going to fire off a question. Call out your name if you'd like to answer. If nobody answers right away, we'll offer multiple choice. The first person to call out his name gets first choice. And we'll go back and forth until we have a winner. In other words, no 3 knockdown rule. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 12th and final. Only the 3 judges score in a fight. The doctor has no voting decision. Whatever the rules were. I used to know them by heart. All right, here's the Polyman Paul Massell with the championship question. Good luck, Ron and Big Rich, here on Ion Channel.
College football, and we're going back to Joe Namath. As Defo stated earlier, Joe Namath played his college ball at Alabama.
I knew that.
But intended to play at this school, but was turned down because of low college board scores.
Wow.
Too dumb to play.
Was it A, Penn State, B, Maryland, C, Pitt, or D, North Carolina?
Wow.
Call out your name.
Ron.
Penn State.
Penn State, incorrect. 3 left for Big Rich.
Maryland. Was it Maryland, Pitt, or North Carolina?
North Carolina.
Oh, incorrect.
Wow.
50-50 for Ron.
Was it Maryland or Pitt?
Pitt.
Backdoor for the Big Rich.
Joe Namath playing for Maryland?
Wow. That's like winning a pick 6 on a disqualification. Wow, Rich. Final leg.
Well
when
done.
you had no shot, your
Good
horse
job,
was
Ron.
beaten.
Thanks for
Argentine Tango gets taken down. Big Rich in the winner's circle. Good job, Big Rich. And we'll be richly rewarding you with a gift certificate to Landlubbers, which the man, when he's in town, he can use it.
Beautiful.
For sure. And he's a big fan of
He'll
that
love
type of
Landlubbers.
sports bar.
Yeah, he'd love
always
Landlubbers.
great. They haven't gone market price on the chicken wings yet, have they?
No.
Okay, because
They're doing their best.
of all the things, if there's a stone crab shortage, all right, maybe the seas with, global warming. How did that affect the chicken wing industry?
You can see Lubie there every Wednesday. Is that right, Mike?
Tonight, actually, every Thursday. I'm there every Thursday.
Every Thursday. So
we do some trivia.
He's there every Thursday. So make sure you go Wednesday next week.
Like you said, it's amazing. Of all things, Philadelphia cream cheese and chicken.
Philadelphia cream cheese.
People kill now for chicken wings, right?
No, the chicken wings
what
are
about,
nuts.
unfortunately, some of them, when you order chicken wings, now they come with these big things that I don't know what they are, but they certainly don't look like a chicken wing.
No, they do thighs now.
Yeah.
It's like a whole thing.
But they're like, giant thighs. It's almost like that. Remember when they had the turkey leg guy and he was running a food truck, one of the original ones, and they actually let him inside the parking lot at what is now Hard Rock Stadium to sell those giant turkey legs.
Right.
And, it really looked like something out of the Flintstones. Remember that?
Well, that could also double as a weapon, though. They were delicious, by the way.
Yes.
We had them a few times. But it could double as a weapon. They would come by and say, "Your dolphins suck." Oh, yeah? And you looked at turkey.
Well, how about those, what were they called? They were called, at the time, I guess it was appropriate, were they Indian pins, those wooden pins that nobody ever knew what to do with in gym class. What was the purpose of those things?
Nobody knows.
Was there a game involved?
But wasn't
You
there
could
always
throw them and hurt somebody.
But there was always one kid, though, like even in the third grade, was headed for stardom as he started juggling them.
Yes. All of a sudden, people from Vegas were interested. All right, we're going to come back with game number 2. Jump on board if you want to play at 888-363-4467. More great prizes to be given away. 888-363-4467. I was serious about bringing up O'Peel's Pocket Fisherman.
Right.
But, there's no way you could put this in any pocket.
So was it
Seriously.
big? I haven't seen it, actually. This is way before my
It
time.
is a giant, kind of thick, weird-looking thing, man.
Right.
And you can only fish with a lure. You can't put live bait on
Oh,
it.
Jesus.
Only with a lure, right? That didn't work in the Hudson. You weren't fooling any of those New York City mercury and crusted fish. Unbelievable.
Somebody just texted me, and I hope he's not correct. He says that was the Joe Namath question, Maryland.
Yeah, I thought it was Pitt.
Was actually one of those true or false questions I had that I made up that was false. And Maryland,
So
Joe
game
Namath.
1 here is under protest.
No.
So we have to
Yeah.
call Lipschitz. I mean, I don't know if he'll do litigation for Ryan.
Imagine Maryland, what other schools wouldn't do to get, a highly already acclaimed Joe Namath. Maryland, now the scores are no good. You're 2 points below. Take a walk, buddy.
Yeah,
These
exactly.
guys are on the threshold of greatness here, and all of a sudden we have them involved in a lawsuit over a $25 gift certificate where the guy is suing Big Rich for $300 million in damages. It's always great. All right, back with more in a moment. Game number 2. Jump on board if you want to play. 888-363-4467, the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. And it's great to be here on Ion Channel. Just go ahead and Google the Defo Show. Perdomo Cigars, Gurgles, quick word.
Yes.
But now, what is that one?
This is the 10th anniversary champagne version.
Wow.
My personal favorite.
Appropriately wrapped also.
Lot 23 guy, but you can get a mild, you can get a Connecticut wrapper, you can get a Maduro wrapper, you can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant and at Perdomo Cigars. 5150 Northwest 167th Street on the Palmetto, just a little bit east of the Home Depot. There you go.
Wow.
It's actually 167th Street, but my writing looks like 162nd. So I don't blame
You can find it from there. Just
yeah,
GPS
I
from
don't
there.
blame
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
just-
get there, you're nearby.
Just look for the big antenna.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how you get
Although
here.
in Miami Lakes, it's Confusion Plus, right?
Very close.
Yeah.
305-627-6700, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. You got it right. Go online, www.perdomocigars.com to find a retailer near you that sells them. Next week, we guarantee we're going to give you a Perdomo Horse of the Week. But in the meantime, enjoy a great cigar. You want a Christmas gift? Humidor, cigars, lighters, whatever you want. Perdomo Cigars, the place to go for the best cigar in the world.
All right, don't forget about the handicap. And speaking of Horse of the Week, we have to get somebody entered in there.
I may
Either
get
you,
in there,
Gurgles,
Paulie. I
or
may
Paulie,
go
man.
and have Paulie in my ear like, what was the one?
Steve Martin movie.
Not
yeah.
Roxanne. Was it not? It's
No, before Roxanne, it was Cyrano de
The
Bergerac.
Bergerac.
Yeah, with Jose Ferrer, not the writer. The other
Everything
one.
on a 6.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah.
on a 6. I can.
We may-
You don't need a lot of help, Gurgles. You're a hell of a handicap.
I grass, I'm okay. But Paulie, if they especially have Oaklawn, Paulie's good at that.
And no one is a better mother
That's
than
right.
the Paulie man.
That's one
And
thing
his mother
I'll-
was a saint also.
Yeah, that's one thing I will say.
Yep.
Yes.
What age were you when you first started sneaking into Aqueduct there and people started picking your brain for selections?
14 maybe.
Oh,
but
really? I thought it
but
was like 6.
No, but I look like 10, So I look like 10 years old. How I started, a guy in the neighborhood had a pool. It was 10 cents. And you picked a horse in every race, and the person who picked the most won the 60 cents or whatever it was. And I kept winning it. I said, well, maybe I'm
sweet.
good at this.
Yeah.
You know, and,
You got to get in that Hialeah Park Handicap and Championship tournament there with 2 seats available, plus airfare and hotel. So I could just, ride on your coat strings out to Vegas there. And, we're up on what we did on the 70th birthday, which Gurgles was a big star
That
out
was
there.
a wonderful trip.
No town was made for anybody more specifically. Never mind Sinatra. It was made for Gurgles.
when are you guys going back again? March, I heard.
There were some thoughts of that, but right now, unfortunately, funds are a little
I was
short.
going to say capital is
It's at a premium. All right, we're coming back with more in a moment. Now that game number 2 on tap. It's time to get rolling on the second game.
Destination Sport Miami is here to revolutionize the sports landscape in South Florida. The largest indoor multifaceted sports complex in North America is on the way, with distinguished leaders of its various sports programs and unparalleled access to the finest indoor training fields and facilities. Destination Sport Miami will set South Florida apart as the destination of choice for elite athletic training and development, and for its dedication to youth programs and sports on all levels. A phenomenal concept and a powerful undertaking, Destination Sport Miami will also be an important commodity in the sports business community as well. Destination Sport Miami, its time has come.
Hey folks, Tony Segreto here. What if I told you you could go to a great restaurant, feel completely safe because their COVID protocol is unmatched, have an amazing meal, have a great time. When the bill comes, you won't get sticker shock. You're going to say, that's too good to be true. No, it's not, because I'm talking about Texas Roadhouse. Great family atmosphere, great atmosphere for a couple, great atmosphere if you just want to go by yourself and watch a game and have the coldest beer in town. And while you're doing that, have the best bread in town. All at Texas Roadhouse. Everything you get there is fresh every day and made sure it's served at your table, hot and ready to go. And the best part is you don't get sticker shock because the prices are amazing. Texas Roadhouse.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill in the Plantation location, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. Their hours have changed a little bit. Monday through Thursday from 3:30 to 10, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 11:30 to 10. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.
Buy or lease a Taos and take it to the house at Deal Volkswagen. Anna and her team make your next VW purchase or lease so easy with new inventory rolling in daily and the biggest selection of certified pre-owned vehicles in the business. You can make your deal online at dealvolkswagen.com or visit the beautiful showroom in the classic location, 3601 Bird Road, right in the heart of the Gables. Or give Anna and the team at Deal a call at 305-448-DEEL. Jettas, Passats, Tiguans, Atlas models, and the hottest vehicle in the industry, the new Taos, all at unbeatable prices and all ready to roll off the showroom floor at the #1 Volkswagen dealership around, Deal Volkswagen.
Since day one of Old School, we've had Catholic Health Services be part of our family. They are recognized as the quintessential rehab facility in the Southeast for strokes, but it goes well beyond strokes because Catholic Health Services is in the community of South Florida to help the community stay healthy. And if they're not healthy, get them healthy and get them back on their feet quicker than they could have ever expected. They do it every single day. It's step and repeat, 24/7, Catholic Health Services.
We have a few things we have to establish here, Lubie, before we get moving. I know you're a stickler for the format and all the details. Mike, Lubitz, I mean, come on.
Lubie. No, Lubie. It's called the format. I know Syracuse didn't teach that, but there's something called the format.
The only thing I learned at Syracuse was that anything that comes to the station that's free, grab it.
From South Florida to the entire world, thank you to the iHeartRadio app. Here is Defo joined by Lubie on The Defo Show.
Yes, I taught him well. Lubie became a dedicated practitioner of that principle. Anything that came to the station that was free, grab it.
all this garbage at my house.
Didn't matter what it was. Books you'll never read. Little dolls. That's how that guy Bill Kamal got in the jackpot,
Exactly.
right? They knew he wasn't around when those squirt guns were taken out of there. Next thing you know, he's arrested as a sexual offender there in some convenience store in Fort Pierce. I mean, what a way to go out from a brilliant broadcasting career. All right, welcome back to the show. Speaking of which, we have our second game on tap here of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Don't forget Hialeah Park, the big trifecta coming up, right?
Yep.
Larry Little Golf Tournament and the Hall of Fame Banquet. And then we're morphing right into the Handicapping Championship, which we're going to have to get some kind of an entry involvement in there.
I like that plan.
Yeah.
Gurgle's the face, Paulie Man the
just
man
whispers in
behind
my
the
ear.
face.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
But
perfect.
don't look at me to bankroll it.
No,
I mean, you guys are doing your thing.
It's perfect. Gurgle's a great handicapper.
Yes.
What him and Kyle have done on your show the last few years,
They've been killing it.
You can't do any better than that. But I'm good for my 2 or 3 picks.
Yeah,
out of-
that's what would
out
make
of
the
24 races.
And you know the tournament concept, which is a whole
Yep.
different ball game, I guess. You have to play certain strategies, and these guys are very expert at knowing how to allocate their money and come up with a big win. But it's a lot of fun. So that's happening December 12th. And then El Boxeo. I mean, it's going to be unbelievable. The Cuban talent that's on the scene right now. And some of these guys are already pretty well accomplished.
Yeah, good.
It's not like you're going to get, some old has-been, coming out of the woodwork there. But no, these are guys that are definitively on the rise and making a lot of noise. So they're going to be fighting in Hialeah Park. Frank Fiore, I mean, literally like Bob Arum, this guy, just coming up with blockbuster fight after blockbuster fight. So all happening at beautiful Hialeah Park. Look for that on your calendar there, Hialeah Park.
When you see the word nice guy, Frank Fiore.
Oh, no, I was going to say, and Aaron, we've heard
Top of
stories.
the heap.
That ain't Frank.
Top of the heap.
Good man.
Always great. Looking
What a
forward
good
to,
human being.
Tomorrow night out
And
there.
and the wife also. Beautiful.
Yeah, she's great.
And
Lovely
for people interested in the college pro football, we'll have our handicappers tomorrow on the Deal Volkswagen Degenerate Friday. And that's brought to you by Gulfstream Park. And they're celebrating because they're opening up. And you can catch a simulcast at Hialeah of the championship meet that gets underway on Saturday.
Friday, I think.
Tomorrow.
Oh, is that right?
nice.
Yeah, it
Like I
starts
said,
tomorrow, yeah.
right on top of my game here.
As does Oakland Park.
Sometime this week.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Very good. All right, let's get into game number 2 right away here and play as many as we can before we hit the wire. Well, we're thrown off the show. What are we talking about? All right, here we go. Game number 2, Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Once again, the number 888-363-4467. And we started out our first set of questions with the great Dave Gurgles Gurgley, I believe, is up next.
All
David.
right, sure. Sports. This legendary writer and generally funny man comparing sports said, if horse racing is a sport of kings, then drag racing must be the sport of queens. Bert Sugar, Bert Backrack, Bert and Ernie, or Bert and Harry Peels?
I do miss Bert.
I was going to say the great Bert
What a
Sugar.
tremendous guy that
He was
this
the
guy
best.
was.
I know you do.
Good fortune to spend a lot of time with him on those various fights out in Las Vegas when Don King had Tyson in prison because he sent his divorce attorney to defend him, and he says, "What do you want me to do with this Julio Cesar Chavez?" So he was like fighting every week, and we were out there, and I got a lot of time with Bert Sugar. All right, here's the scrambler. Pick our first player. Wow. I can't believe this guy found us on an IO channel. Vincenzo. Welcome to the show. You're on the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge.
DiVincenzo. All right.
Vincenzo. Can you give him a little opera, Paulie Man?
Oh,
All right. Vincenzo, welcome to the show. Vincenzo. All right. Might have lost Vincenzo there. Had trouble picking him up.
Vincenzo, you there?
Vincenzo.
Oh, jeez, I'm sorry.
All right.
It's on me.
All right.
He's there. He's there. Vincenzo's there. Vincenzo's there.
Those
Good morning,
phones-
How are you,
those
Vincenzo?
phones in the witness protection program. Oh, sorry.
Hello?
There he is. Vincenzo.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Yay. Buongiorno.
Lubie was
Buongiorno.
drying his hair. He plugged something
Happy to
into
be
the
on
board.
program.
All right.
And
Very
the
good.
answer is the late, great Bert Sugar.
You got
Very
it.
nice. Very nice.
All right,
Big
Vincenzo.
boxing fan, Vincenzo.
Baseball, true or false, Vincenzo? When Abner Doubleday played the first ever baseball game in the U.S., it was composed also of well-known personalities, including the shortstop, who was none other than Eli Whitney, the inventor of the cotton gin.
Wow.
True or false?
I'll go Pentangeli. Sure. Why not? Yeah.
No, that's false.
There's got to be no way. Eli Whitney.
He was not
And then
He's
is
a
Franklin,
shortstop.
is Franklin
he
the
couldn't.
left
He had no
fielder?
glove. Yeah.
How sugar the question was that? That was
Eli
incredible.
Whitney's the
Well, but he could type Federer with his left hand. All right.
That was an oddball one, too.
I love that he went for that.
Are you getting medical gummies like I am?
I was going to say, that was
I may need
great.
him.
Yeah, all right. One going for 4 here,
And they
Vincenzo.
brought Eli Whitney into the infield because he played such a shallow center field that the manager, George Washington, was like,
Washington couldn't take it.
And Fulton and that steam that kept coming up from right field. Oh,
Drew all of his money right into the river there.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
His whole salary.
Let's go back to sanity.
Yeah.
ABA, as a matter of fact.
Oh, good one.
The
Even
late,
better.
great Jerry Harkness made the longest shot ever to win a game in professional basketball, an 88-foot shot at the buzzer to lead the Indiana Pacers to the win, 118-117 over the Dallas Chaparrals, the New Jersey Nets, the Miami Floridians, or the Kentucky Colonels.
I'll go hometown, Miami Floridians.
That's a great guess, but it's wrong. If you lived in Dallas, you'd have got it. Dallas Chaparrals, as a matter of
All right,
fact.
don't go far,
Well,
Vincenzo.
Wait, he's
I
got
lived
another
in
question.
Miami and saw the Floridians, so that's why I went with them.
Understand.
Hey,
That was
good
his
guess.
three-pointer. That was a three-pointer.
Jeff
Yeah,
said you're a big boxing fan, right?
Oh, here we go.
You're a big boxing fan?
Yeah.
Okay, hockey.
Oh, it's close. I mean, you know, that's the best thing.
That's close, yeah.
Revising a little of the evil
Guys
Satan.
biting guys now, like Conrad Doler at the bottom of the pile.
Who is
That's
the only
fantastic.
goalie to be credited with 2 regular season and 1 postseason goal scored during
Wow.
his career? Ron Hextall, Billy Smith, Ken Dryden, or Martin Brodeur?
Well, the only name I know there is Smith, so I'm going to go with Smith.
No, it was
Martin.
Martin Brodeur.
I was gonna say Brodeur.
Yeah,
I
the
feel
great
like Brodeur.
goalie.
Don't go far,
Hang on,
Vincenzo.
Vincenzo,
We
you may
could
be in
be,
the
I still like your
circling
chances for the finals.
We'll be coming back to the finals as we have a television time limit here,
I was
like we
gonna
were doing
say.
championship wrestling from Florida here. The great Gordon Sully. Let me introduce to you the Iron Sheik himself, the Polyman Paul Massell.
Easy baseball. This Met broadcaster, known to say some off-the-wall things, once said the Mets just had their first 500 or better April since July of 1992. Ralph Kiner, Ralph Franca, Ralph Cramden, and Ralph Schwartz.
The Scrambler, Lubie, and step on it. We have Megan. Megan, you're on the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Thanks for playing the game.
Hi.
You were in the game. You have
All
1
right,
point. Way
Megan.
to go, Megan. Nice job.
We got a baseball true or
Can you
false.
answer the answers again?
No, you already
You're
got
good.
it.
You got
got
it.
it.
You
You
got
already
the
got a
point.
point.
Good for
Yeah.
you.
You had
Megan.
to
Good
say
job.
hello, Megan.
Yeah.
You got a
Oh, okay.
you got a baseball true or false. Home run hitting Nelson Cruz said growing up his passion was basketball, not baseball, and his idol was, of course, Michael Jordan. True or false?
True.
It is
I
true.
was gonna say
Right.
that first.
Megan.
Good job, Megan. That was
You
good.
have 2 going for 5.
College hoops, J.J. Redick. Boy, J.J. Redick is putting it on
Yeah.
Stephen A.
Stephen
Smith.
A.
That got him crazy, man.
That's good.
He really lost his temper the other
That
day.
was
Come on,
great.
that was no show.
That was good.
J.J. Redick is Duke's all-time leading scorer. Who is second?
Good question.
Good question.
Kyle Singler, Danny Ferry, Christian Leitner, or Johnny Dawkins?
Good one.
Johnny Dawkins.
Gotta
Whoa.
be-
I was gonna go
Wow,
Leitner.
Megan.
Good for you.
Holy
Well,
cow.
Sweeperoni
Let's
possibly
do-
on tap. Well, Sweeperoni.
Baseball. An amazing fact, Defo.
Yes.
That's what it says, your name right there.
I like that when you do
That
that.
between 1962
Yeah, you
and
misspelled
1972, they were the only team to win the World Series that had home field advantage.
Good
All
question.
right, good one.
Okay.
The LA Dodgers, St. Louis Cardinals, Oakland A's, or New York Mets?
The first one.
Hey,
Dodgers, no.
incorrect.
No.
It
But
was
stay
the
right
St.
there,
Louis-
Hang on, because I think she's gonna be in the
Due
final.
to,
Who was
St.
it,
Louis
though?
Cardinals.
St. Louis Cardinals.
due to television time limit, we're going to go right to the finals, and it's going to involve Vincenzo and Megan.
Good.
The only players we were able to work into game number 2 as we kind of messed things up a little bit. Don't forget, the open enrollment period is there for insurance plans. It started November 1st. The laws can be confusing, even scary. Don't do it alone. HST Insurance. You can speak with a licensed agent free of charge. Call today and make an informed decision. And not calling could cost you a lot of money, so don't hesitate on this. No procrastination here. Call today, HST Insurance, 855-282-8022. All right, ready for the finals here. Game number 2 of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Vincenzo and Megan. And Dave has the question. Call out your name if you want to answer. Nobody answers right away. Multiple choice. You know the drill. Here we go.
This is like Bobby Riggs versus Billie Jean King. Here we go.
There you go.
What is Keith Fitzhugh's football claim to fame? Keith Fitzhugh.
Here are the choices.
A. He was the starting quarterback who got injured, allowing Trevor Lawrence to take over as high school starting QB. B, he's the new head of NFL replays who has already been questioned twice in the Denver-New York Giants game for allowing a call to stand when it should have been reversed. C, he was the fan who caught the cat in the American flag at the UM game. Or D, he was a defensive back contacted by New York Jets coach Rex Ryan, but turned down an NFL career to work on the railroad.
Anybody?
Megan.
Megan, what was it?
D.
D, last one.
That's right.
Yes, Megan. You
Turned down Rex Ryan to work on the
She
railroad.
kicks ass at my trivia every Thursday, and it's not a fluke. Wow, great job, Megan.
Well
Megan
done,
becomes
Megan.
our first female winner in
Yes.
the 26-year history of the
No,
show.
we had the other lady that called
Yes,
all the
yes.
time.
But the
Yep.
first in the new
Yes.
history of the Ion
the
Channel
first in the
version of the
21st
program.
century.
Exactly.
It
Congrats,
features
Megan.
a video of Dave Gurgles Gurgley, the Polyman Paul Massell, Mike Lubitz on Lubicam. Our thanks to Jack Namer and of course, Brad Schiller, man. No relation to Artie Schiller, but nonetheless,
Still
quite,
good breeding.
Quite a wizard when it comes to all of the things it takes to put this show together. Tomorrow, we'll be with you with the Deal Volkswagen Degenerate Friday show. We'll have our handicappers, Mark Lawrence and the Professor. They have been red hot. College and pro football. Also, Jersey Kyle Martinez. Usually good for a horse that finishes somewhere between 5th and 9th. No, he's
a good handicapper.
Very good handicapper. And the man is a hoot, let's put it that way. So, a Deal Volkswagen Degenerate Friday is on tap tomorrow here on Ion Channel. Tell your friends about it. Google the Defo Show. And it's always a lot of fun being with you here on Ion Channel and representing the good people that are behind this, including the lovely Amy, who, she had a vision.
Yes.
I think she envisioned something completely
I was
different,
gonna
but
say,
she
what's a vision?
had a vision. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 in the morning. The Gambling Gourmet Mike Mayo will join us as well. Our thanks to Charlie Partridge. Good luck, Charlie.
Coach Partridge, let's go.
Pittsburgh Panthers. We will see him there at the Cafe
Yeah,
Seville.
next week. I already talked to him about it.
Very interesting. Okay, we're going to
Let's
have to
do
get
it.
out there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Go ahead and have a little corporate dinner there and meet Charlie.
Good
And,
guy, huh?
He's a great
real good guy. Was always very candid with us about
Yeah,
everything.
he was great on your show.
Not a big Nick Saban fan either.
Right.
We didn't bring up Nick. We don't want to upset him the week. of the game. He loves when I say Narduzzi, though. And that guy's a heck of a coach.
No, he's fun.
Right? Yeah, you have to give him a lot of credit.
Pat Narduzzi?
Pat Narduzzi. Yeah, good guy. All right, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Tell your friends about us, and we'll see you tomorrow at 7 as we leave you know that.
The time.
And catch Polyman in Magic City. It's 9:01.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Look what they done to my show.